7 o'clock in St. Louis. You're listening to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. A program that welcomes you to participate by texting in 314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service text inbox, by calling in the Callier and Thompson phone lines at 314-974-0101. And then you've got that Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. You open up the YouTube app, you type in TMA STL, and the next thing you know is you have friends. And they gather, and they talk it over for 4 hours, Doug. 4 hours.
That's a long time.
They get to know each other and get to know each other better.
Okay.
And their common bond is a passionate dislike for this show that they watch for 4 hours.
Yeah. They're bitterly disappointed on a daily basis, and we're proud that we can bring that to them. But they hang with us.
What's the latest show, most recent TV or radio? You just hated it, but you couldn't stop consuming it.
I feel like Movie Boy would be able to answer that for us.
Tim, I feel like you and I probably have the same answer outside of Hunting Wives.
Right.
And you hate it, can't stop watching.
Ballers.
That's a Sapphic thing.
Ballers. Ballers is like...
Wow, that's a nice play. I have to tell you, obscure, but might be the right play. That was with The Rock, Martin, on HBO. It was warm garbage.
Right. It's Ruffles, cheddar, and sour cream. A delicious chip, but no good for you.
How about that metaphor?
So you enjoy. So it's what do they call that? Popcorn movies where you just enjoy it for the summer.
Yeah, but sometimes those can be great. Ballers never had a chance to be great.
And Ballers is the more modern-day version of the show that ESPN had that the NFL made them cancel. Was that Playmakers?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Is Ballers like a homogenized version of that?
It was more like a very antiseptic Arliss.
Antiseptic.
Doug, you good with all of this?
That's why I'm a Movie Boy lemming.
Gosh. I remember Arliss. That was kind of good.
Bring it back.
Robert will join us as a surprise guest.
Oh, he'd be good.
Could this be a better time to bring back Arliss with all the crazy stuff going on in sports right now?
That's a take.
Robert Wool. If
Surprise
Gary Condon,
guest.
if
He's
Gary
probably getting
Condon
up there
doesn't
in
call
age.
back.
He plays the pitching coach in Bull Durham. He'd be great.
Yep.
Always spit and chew, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He kind of disappeared. I haven't seen him in anything in years.
Question.
I think-
Arliss residuals, bro.
I think him and Albert Brooks formed one person because I
Oh,
always
they
got
did.
them confused.
That's fair.
All right. Yeah. Arliss. Yeah, I did enjoy that.
Blues winning the sweaters.
Yes.
What sweater was that?
Light blue sweater.
New boy.
Yeah, I was there
They
last
call it the
night.
new boy?
That's what I'm calling it. Yeah. Championing that.
So, do they have four, Doug? They have the new home, the new road, the old school blue, and then what was last night?
Last night it was the new blue.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe my TV was off.
They came within inches of blowing yet another 3-0 lead.
Whoa, and whoa.
With about 2 seconds left, the puck slid right in front of Bennington, right in front of the crease. 6-on-5.
Were you screaming shoot?
I was saying, block.
Get it out!
And you were at the game with Nick Vaughn.
Yeah, but the Blues just stopped playing with about 5 minutes to go. They would touch the puck about every 40 seconds. They collapsed into this defensive shell, and Calgary was just bombs away on Bennington for the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Doug, I had to walk to the set for an opportunity to talk sports. This opportunity was at around 9:40-ish.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm leaving the 2 Fox Sports office, there are 5 seconds on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So as I walk out there, I said, should I assume they won? I mean, most times you say, oh,
yeah.
With this squad, I'm like, I have no idea. Why? Well, there was 5 whole seconds left.
And it was close.
They could give up 3 goals.
Yeah. That would have been the most frustrating loss of the season, I think. If you have a 3-0 lead on the worst team in the league at home and you can't hang on to that would have been rough. But they did hang on, so they get the 2 points. And as I said, if we can just get hot, we can get into 7th place in the division.
Nice.
And that's where they sit right now.
Jackie Papers, Jim Montgomery did like what he saw last night. Here's the Blues head coach.
All right, hit the lever, please, Pale.
I thought after that, I really enjoyed our response. It's what you want. You want to go back and take control and momentum of the game. And I went down to 3 lines, and the 3 lines really responded. They built momentum heading into the third.
I know this show is not a visual unless you're watching on the Michelob Ultra YouTube.
Yeah, John Scores is along with Chairman Kurt, who's right here, but also in the YouTube chat. And Matt and Jake and St. Genevieve Martin are all in there.
But Jim Montgomery does his post game, and he has this posture now. And I don't know if he's just getting through his media dealings. He sits like this, and I'm showing you guys. But he lays on his right hand, kind of head tilted. And I don't know if he's just exhausted with this team. He's got to play classic rock to see if they've got any energy. But he does, if you look at any of the videos, he's leaning on his right hand like he may just pass out or fall asleep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this team has exhausted him is what I'm taking from it.
Not the greatest body language for a press conference.
Especially coming out of a win. He looks just either resigned or, okay, JR, what do you got? Did you have a binky? Okay, who else? Who's left? Who's left of the assembled media?
I think it's probably time for a shakeup.
Doug, they got to win.
I know, but barely against a terrible team.
Now, that Seattle late goal, if that doesn't happen, they would have won 4 out of their last 5, Doug. And you still want a shakeup.
I think so.
Somebody told me that Milan Lucic is playing tonight in Springfield, Mass., and it's sold out because all the Bruins fans want to see him play.
That's right.
Really?
He's a god up there.
Okay.
He did mention that he went down to 3 lines in the third period. And so Jordan Cairo dug 13 minutes last night. Mm-hmm. He was not one of the people featured in the third period.
No, when you got to play defense, he's not the guy that you want out there.
So
I just would like to have seen them try to press the issue a little bit themselves and not just fall completely back into that defensive shelf because they were just dominated the last 3 or 4 minutes of that game.
And they got that third goal, Doug. They were sitting on the 2-goal lead, which makes you nervous. Got that third goal, and it came in handy.
Yes, it did.
Because the 2-goal lead is not good enough.
The worst lead in all of hockey.
Alan Dadeville has an observation as he gets ready to host the Texas Longhorns this weekend. I'm not quite for sure, but I don't think your third pair getting 10 to 11 minutes a night and Justin Falk being second on the team in scoring are sustainable combinations. Thank you. That's from Alan Dadeville,
No.
Doug, and he loves the Georgia Bulldogs. Watch this. Georgia.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. It just doesn't feel like the chemistry is there, even in a win. To me, it just doesn't feel like the chemistry is right. But hopefully I'm wrong, and they'll string something together here. They've looked certainly better the last couple of weeks.
Lisa's texting into the Air Comfort Service text inbox, and she weaved a Blues take into an Ali Marmol take, Martin. I think that's kind of impressive, actually. She is not a fan of the Cardinal manager. OMG, this team takes more heat than a team led by the weakest resume in all of baseball. That's Lisa.
I really respect her commitment to the brand. When the day Ollie is sent packing, I'm going to let Lisa take my credential and sit in the front row and just applaud.
Well,
Doug Pugh-Suter was the first Blues player to hit double digits in points, as you predicted at the beginning of the season.
yeah, I figured he'd be the guy. Again, their best players, their best offensive players, just not getting much done. We got Thomas still at 2 goals. Buchnevich at 2 goals. Parayko hadn't scored yet. It's Sundqvist hasn't got a goal yet. It just doesn't feel like the chemistry is there to me.
It does look. Parayko and Broberg played nearly half the game.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
yeah.
They're limping along, but Doug, they're just a group that's just trying to find a little rhythm. And you know what they say now is they're building their game. They are continuing to build their game. So I want you to hang in there.
Okay,
Let them build.
I'll hang in there.
If you want, you could put these on because they're in front of me. Tim, look at this.
What do you have?
Blue sunglasses. Is this for the home of the Blues?
Is this for rights holding?
Do you think Stillman hands these out to all local media? And if you'd like to, you can put on the Blues-colored glasses.
Look at that.
So that you have a take that favors the local hockey team.
Why don't you put them on and we'll see if it turns you
let's
into
See if it's a
a
sharp
rights
look.
holder.
Let's
Ooh,
see.
you look naughty.
How do the Blues look to you?
I think they can win the cup.
Okay, it works.
This squad, This squad has what it takes. I'm tired of all the hate. These boys will skate.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Hold on, I'm going to take them off real quick.
Boys will skate.
I don't know. I think we overestimated this team completely. We got sucked in by last year's late finish.
I agree about the chemistry. Nothing looks smooth. Most of the game last night was a disorganized scramble to get the puck out of our own end. That's from the female listener.
Okay.
I thought there were multiple female listeners.
Sharon and Clayton, Baldwin Birovich, caller Ellen.
Jen?
Caller Jen, Janie the lesbian, and the female listener. I think that's
Your mom's a lesbian lover. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We haven't heard from Janie the lesbian in a long time, have we?
Surprise guest, I believe, following
that
Robert
right?
Wool.
I can't get
Okay.
Gary
Harless.
Condit to call back. Let's see. Robert Wool. What was this? Janie?
The lesbian.
Is she in the phone book? Janie?
She's
the
up in
les-
Minnesota somewhere.
The lesbian. Okay.
I enjoy legs and butts a lot.
Oh,
Papers is on it.
Yeah,
Jamie,
Papers
you
is
want
having
to
a
touch?
I think the greatest drop maybe in the history of the show was when Papers yesterday, after an awkward silence, said, "This is where you say something, Doug."
Happens
You
often.
took control of the show.
WWE recap is ripe for that drop.
You can get involved in the program, as many are already doing. 314-399-9646. They're not happy after a Blues win. It's interesting. I didn't expect that, but that's
No.
that's where
I didn't
we are.
expect Doug to be kind of pessimistic.
Yeah, that's not your brand.
well, I'm happy that they got the win. You have to beat the worst team in the league at home when you're up 3-0. You've got to win those games to have any chance at all. They just, even in that win, they didn't look to me like a team that's got their act together and are ready to go on a run at all. Well, like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
It was nice to see Binnington play well on a night when he passed Mike Liut, because the game in D.C. a week ago, when he tied Mike Liut for the most games played by a Blues goalie, that was the weird magic trick Doug Henning imitation night. That was kind of a weird night for Binner when he tied Liut, at least last night, in breaking the record. He had a nice game, 38 saves. You'd hate to see him break that record and give up 5 or 6 goals.
Right. Yeah, he was good last night.
And
Binnington
that's
was
going to
very
be
good.
that's the key. If you get him and Hofer get rolling, maybe they can pick up the rest of the squad there, Doug. It's asking a lot, but
Maybe they
maybe.
can steal a few.
Yes.
Get involved in the program by calling in 314-974-0101. That's the Callier and Thompson phone lines, Air Comfort Service text inbox, 314-399-9646, and the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Doug, I don't know if you've taken a look at the forecast for this weekend.
I have.
Holy moly. I mean, are you horse plowing me
I'm
with
not
this?
plowing anyone. Clip.
Yeah, clip that off. I mean, today, 64 and sunny. Tomorrow, 63. Friday, sunny and 74. Saturday, 74. Sunday, in the 60s. This is just glorious.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Mid-November, and you're out there compressing the ball. Jackson, as you know, last day to post your scores, even though you haven't posted one suspiciously in 18 months, with the United States Golf Association for your handicap in Missouri is November 15th, Doug. So if you want to post a number to manage your handicap for member guest season in 2026, I would recommend getting some rounds in here between now and Saturday at midnight.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little pro tip, kind of a meat and potatoes.
Well, I don't have a handicap. Jackson needs to get one.
There he does. That's suspicious. He could wind up in the river with that kind of operation.
Well, I have one. I just haven't paid my dues in a year, and therefore I could not post scores. So, but I'll resume it next year.
Paid the dues on the app.
Yeah.
You can't have a handicap without paying somebody for it.
Yeah, to update your scores, update your handicap, you got to pay.
That seems like a good business model.
Yeah.
Let's build an app, and now all golfers have to pay us if they want to.
It's very affordable. I don't know why I didn't do it this year. I just didn't. And I got to a point where I was like, all right, it's too late in the year.
You had movies to watch.
No.
What
I was playing golf.
What do you
I was
shoot?
playing
Like
golf.
81, 82, that kind of thing?
It depends on the course, depends on the day. But yeah, in the mid to low 80s. Generally. Sometimes lower, sometimes higher.
Oh,
You like that? That was a folksy
Yeah, it
laugh
really was.
conveying.
It made him relatable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just some self-deprecation lightly so no one can ruin my psyche. If you do it yourself first, no one can ever hurt
Have you ever had your psyche ruined here? You did. What was it that got you last week?
Buck Swope on Bill Simmons
I've had my
podcast, I
psyche
believe.
ruined 15 times in 5 years. That's all right. Once you put it back together, it becomes stronger.
Oh, I see.
You cheap ass, pay your dues. That's from Harrison's brother Master, not happy that Jackson is not paying his handicap dues.
What do you know? Harrison's brother Master isn't happy. A comfortable way to live.
Doug, so you can be upset that the Blues won. Martin and I are holding rights here on 101 ESPN. And so
That's all we got. I mean, what else are we going to get excited about?
Well, Martin, I got something for you. Jackson didn't even know about this. And I hit him with it like at 6:30. I was kind of going, okay, let's get some of this ready. Didn't know about it. So if Jackson doesn't know about it, I would imagine a lot of people don't know about it. We've got some head coaching news that's going to get people buzzing.
Whoa.
And I've got it for you. Coming up next. Time spent listening. Time spent listening.
Fill out those books.
Yeah. The morning after on 101 ESPN and the TMA YouTube channel.
Ooh, yeah.
Doug, what do you think Jackson's doing here today?
I'm not sure what he's doing. He's a sly fox.
I'm assuming it's Neil Young's birthday.
It is.
And he's angry.
Yeah. And he's sideways with Leonard Skinner, but Leonard Skinner said that was more of a satirical response. For 2025, I guess.
You're going
Ronnie Van
back. I thought
Zant.
there was a new rivalry. Okay, so
Ronnie Van Zant probably
okay.
just would have tweeted a meme at Neil Young.
Instead, they all made millions making songs.
All right.
It's his 80th birthday today.
I was
I was gonna guess 80, but I thought I might be too young on that.
80.
80 bills, huh?
Married to Daryl Hannah still? I'll look it up. Go ahead.
And she's a mermaid?
She was, and a Splash, was that what it was?
Imagine
No, I
pitching
think that
that.
was Wall Street.
Oh.
Imagine pitching that papers. Yeah, so the woman becomes a mermaid. Good or bad? Splash. You've never seen it.
No, but I'd be curious what Wall Street would look like with a mermaid.
Good for you. That's a good take. Bud Fox, Gordon Gekko, and a mermaid. Oliver Stone missed out on it.
Yeah, it's big.
I feel I'm honored when I can have something for Little Jackie Papers regarding Missouri. Substantial report, and Jackie Papers was unawares. Martin, you see it in the Stiefel dossier here.
But I don't understand it.
Right.
Penn State hot board number 10 is very interesting in a post-A&M world.
That'll all make sense here in a moment.
No.
I read that and I thought, I'll be surprised. Penn State hot board number 10. But I've workshopped it enough to think, we've got Drinkwitz news.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
This is from Tyler Donahue, who is the Gabe DeArmond, you know him as the Colonel, brought to you by James Carlton here on the Morning After on Mondays and Fridays, of Penn State. And this is what he has reported. We are now more than 4 weeks into Penn State's coaching search. During the last 48 hours or so, it seems as though the pace has picked up. Following what we might call an exploratory phase of this process, things have narrowed and intensified, with a few names nearing the forefront. Our reporting here is ongoing and evolving, and I'll remind again, this remains a fluid situation, but one name in particular has started to crystallize based on a variety of recent conversations. Missouri head coach Eli Drinkwitz has arguably been the most consistent candidate discussed since James Franklin's firing, and I mentioned here in week 1 of the search that Penn State would not be alone in its pursuit. We continue to hear that Drinkwitz is likely considered a top 3 to 5 option at Auburn and Florida, and LSU is another potential player as things progress. But based on intel we've gathered, Penn State is the school standing out right now if Drinkwitz were to depart Missouri. We are told that Drinkwitz is, quote, willing to leave, end quote, Missouri, where he has led the Tigers since 2020. He's not alone as a current head coach sharing reciprocated interest with Penn State, though his situation became less complicated when Missouri went from a 5-1 playoff contender at the time of Franklin's firing to 6-3 and eliminated from the CFP conversation. We've been told from the start to monitor his situation once Missouri picked up a third loss, and that happened Saturday against number 3 Texas A&M. Missouri wraps up its regular season with games against Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, and with CFP goals off the table, Drinkwitz and Missouri are each motivated to gain clarity on their respective futures, whether those remain connected or are headed for a split in the near future. If Drinkwitz departs Columbia, our understanding is that Penn State is well positioned as his landing spot. We'll emphasize this again. He is not the only candidate engaged with Penn State at this point, and there is nothing imminent to report, but there's enough buzz from enough places to share this update with you. The Colonel, who passed that along, wrote, I know some of you don't want to deal with this stuff daily, and if that's the case, feel free to skip it. The truth is, with the playoff out the window, this is the biggest story around Mizzou football until there is a resolution one way or another, and we're going to cover it. Here's where things stand on my side. In the last couple of days, I have had 2 different people reach out to me and say that they believe there is momentum building with Drinkwitz and Penn State. Considering where I heard the information from, I am monitoring it. I am not saying that he is leaving. I am saying that based on where I'm hearing this information, it has my attention. People around here, and that means Columbia, continue to tell me that they believe he is staying, assuming Missouri can come through on what he wants as far as commitment to the program. Here's what I think this could come down to. Are the people around here that are hearing positive things being told the truth? Or are they being told what they want to hear? Obviously, Drinkwitz would not be the first coach to play both sides. There is conflicting information on this at this time. I don't think anybody knows which way it's going to go, and I'll continue to pass on what I hear and keep you updated as best I can. So that's Gabe DeArmond passing along the report from Penn State's version of Gabe DeArmond that Eli Drinkwitz is, quote, willing to leave Columbia and Penn State, and Drinkwitz are engaged.
And had they beaten Texas A&M, his stock would have been higher. But I also think in losing and the noise kind of around the outside, people mad at Drinkwitz for never winning the big game, not breaking through, this coach has always sort of paid attention to what's being said. I think it makes him more interested in leaving when people start to question the job he's done. That's just my take, is that if he feels underappreciated and he does have interest outside of Como, I think he's more likely to go if people are kind of bitching and moaning a little bit about the progress that they haven't made.
I'm just surprised that Penn State would want him. He's proven to be a good program builder, but nobody needs to build the Penn State program. They need to go in there and win to satisfy those people. You can't deny the fact that the Columbia Stadium is full for almost every game now. There's stadium expansion. Yeah, that the fan base has been energized like it hadn't been in many years. He's done all that, but the fact remains he still hasn't really beaten anybody. Still hasn't. This year, the only wins in the SEC are against, Auburn and South Carolina, teams with a combined record of 2-12 in the league. I'm just surprised that a program, a blue blood like Penn State, wouldn't want someone that's had more demonstrative success.
And they'd have to sell that if they make a hire like this. But I think if you're Penn State or Florida or Auburn, if it ends up that he's your guy, and it could be that he's your third or fourth choice, you would say, well, he's at Missouri. They don't have the resources we have. He's going to win big finally when he gets to a place like this. I think that's how they would spin it. But I also think there's a lack of candidates. I mean, there's how many great coaches are out there? They may have wanted Matt Rule. He re-upped at Nebraska. Signetti was a hot name. He locked in at Indiana. I think, and all the other, quote, big names around, the guys are getting fired left and right, Brian Kelly and James Franklin. I just don't think there's enough name candidates that I understand why he's at least getting kicked around. He's a younger coach who's had some success at Mizzou. But I think that's the frustration for the fan base. Wait a minute, now we got to sweat whether he's staying or not. We don't win the big game. And we're largely, I think, good with that. Most fans, I think, are like, well, we win 8, 9, 10. I'm happy. Not all, but many. And then you got to say, well, we don't win the big game, but now we got to worry that he's leaving. So for Mizzou fans, I'm sorry.
Your reaction, 314-399-9646. Air Comfort Service, text inbox, and you're welcome to talk it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat where John Scores says, preach, Doug. John Scores, who I think is a TMA Listener of the Month in 2025, Jackson. Is that correct?
Yep.
Papers, what is your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, to what Doug and Martin said, I echo for the most part. It's both like understandable because he has had success. He has turned Missouri into being in the conversation consistently. And I think despite some soft scheduling, that is a huge credit to him. Because it's not just about what you do on the field, it's the aura you bring around the team. And Missouri football has captured the attention not only just in this state, but in the Midwest and in the SEC a little bit. So you like that. But yeah, I agree that it's a tough sell when you fire James Franklin for not winning the big game and you hire a guy who has yet to win the quote-unquote big game. So I don't know, but this is obviously such a weird time in coaching. You know, it's kind of like whoever gets the guy first will set off the dominoes. I'm curious to see what happens with that.
A texter said, why not just swap the two? And I know we're playing the hypothetical game, but we can't break down the Blues for 4 hours, Doug. We just can't.
I tried.
If you were a Mizzou fan and they offered you James Franklin in return, if he leaves, how do you think that would go over? Do you think approval rating, I'd say over 50%.
Positively.
Yeah.
But like overwhelming or Or because he comes from such a big program, like, hey, we got a guy that was at Penn State.
I think people would be okay with that.
Yeah, I think it would have more than a 50% approval rating.
Mm-hmm. And Drinkwitz's stock is probably never going to be higher it's lower now than it was Saturday. But next year, they've got this much tougher schedule. He's not going to have all the gimme wins that he had this year. So he may never be in a position, again, like he's in right now, where there are some big-time programs looking for coaches and not a whole lot of attractive candidates out there to fill those spots.
But the more it gets talked about, if he does stay, then he kind of gets a win with the fan base too, even though the season, you could argue, at this point, has been a disappointment. Not winning any of those big games. But now if all of this buzz continues, and maybe some of it is real with these other programs, if he says, you know what, I'm staying, then all of a sudden he gets this big boost, having not won a big game this season, but if people find out he could have left but stayed, which I think he's smart enough to know that the more this gets talked about, if he decides to stay, then all of a sudden people kind of rally around that as opposed to rallying around a big win.
Right.
He'll get a little buzz, a little bump out of that.
I'd be good with Franklin. Who the hell else would be better? That's from chairman of the National Swingers Convention.
Oh, are they in town?
I don't know. Are they doing something at the Dome? Be fun. Jackson, you want to do some man on the street this weekend?
Oh, never again.
Did you do it?
Bad.
I would love for you to be our man on the street.
I hate doing man on the street.
When's the last time you did
I don't
it?
even remember you doing
Vegas,
it.
Las Vegas. We had to pay people to talk to us.
Yeah.
Come on.
Use
You
gift
expense
cards?
that.
Yeah, that was a
Is
tough
it
receipt to hand back.
Is it because just it was Vegas, it was people on vacation and didn't feel like they wanted to show up on somebody's radio or TV show?
I feel like now there's a lot more people doing man on the street who aren't in television or don't have
You don't say.
the pedigree necessarily, and I see it, and whenever I see it on like TikTok or Instagram, I really cringe because I have to think of that person having to ask people questions on the street.
Oh.
God, I hope Drinkwitz leaves for the entertainment value alone. It would be hilarious and very fitting how things are going for hashtag Our Town Sports. That's from the Hunchback of Vaughn Castle.
Well, if you were to make a ranking of the top 20 coaches, college football coaches in America, would Drinkwitz be on that list?
He is the 11th highest paid, but I know that wasn't your question, but just for point of reference.
Yeah, would he be one of the top 20 best coaches in America?
All right, let's take this one step further. One step
Probably
further.
not.
If you were him, would you take that job if offered?
I understand the question. I love the question. Anytime we talk about this, it depends on what you are personally motivated by. For me, personally, I wouldn't. It has nothing to do with the Missouri thing. I just look at it kind of similarly to Lane Kiffin's situation. So I guess I could put it that way. So it takes the Missouri thing out of it. That you don't deal with the insanity of the programs with expectations. James Franklin's situation is kind of forgotten about now because you have Brian Kelly litigating with LSU, and you have Hugh Freeze getting fired, and you have the coaching carousel that's going on. But Franklin was incredibly successful at Penn State. The knock on him is he couldn't get them over the top. But they were a kick from a questionable kicker with Notre Dame to getting to the championship game for a rematch with Ohio State. And 9 months later, the man's terminated. That's what you have in Happy Valley. In Columbia, Missouri, if that were the situation, if the two teams were switched, Penn State and Missouri is in that position where Notre Dame and their shaky field goal kicker delivers and they lose in that situation, Eli Drinkwitz can call his shots for the next however many number of years. He's in a Kirk Ferentz, Whittingham situation where he can call his shots. And for me, this is me, that in addition to having a young family, that's what I would prioritize. However, if you're Eli Drinkwitz and you're going, I don't really have ties to Columbia beyond the 5 years that I've been here, and Penn State generates substantially more revenue. They bring in, they have the ability to bring in more than 100,000 fans. I think this is an important part of the conversation. The Big Ten, at the moment, this could be changing with revenue sharing and investment, is easier to get into the college football playoff. We went through Penn State's schedule a week or two ago next year. It is, I don't want to say it's comical, but it's certainly easier than Missouri's. So if that is what your goal is, to be able to go to that level, and your goal is, I want to win a national championship, I want to reset my clock, then
New challenge, that kind of thing.
It just depends on the person. And then I realize, and it's incredibly grateful that people listen to this show, and seemingly almost all of it, and in a large number of cases. So some of this is repetitive for those who are not regular listeners. My comparison going back 25 years was meeting Gary Pinkel, and I'm like, this guy isn't going anywhere. I feel the same way about Josh Schertz. And when I met Quinn Snyder, I'm like, this guy's going to go whenever he has an opportunity, if he has success. And my read on Drinkwitz, when he was introduced as Missouri's head coach, is that he would use Missouri as a stepping stone. But with that said, when he was introduced as the head coach in 2020, college football was in a totally different place. The idea of Indiana and Ole Miss winning a national championship in 2020 was as far-fetched as the idea of Missouri winning. Probably more far-fetched, actually, in Bloomington than Missouri winning a national championship. So the game has changed that you can win a national championship in places that used to be college football outposts. So in that capacity, if he is comfortable in Columbia, then perhaps he is using this situation to get commitment from donors and NIL to position himself to be there for the long term. And if he does turn them down, get commitment from NIL, then he becomes a god in Columbia. I mean, Eli Drinkwitz's reputation in Columbia, St. Louis, and Kansas City will be determined in an extreme fashion, one way or the other, over the next 30 days. I don't see any other way. Do you follow him? Because he's either going to be...
If he leaves, you're going to hate him.
Oh, many will. I understand.
I'm saying, but many will be pissed off for sure. They'll be hurt. But this is what I'm saying. In a year where you didn't win a big game, again, if he decides to stay, the more chatter there is about other programs being interested, and maybe they have a big press conference with the extension, he gets up there and says, yeah, daggum, these schools kept calling. I told them not to call me, but they just kept calling. All of a sudden, you have this huge, almost like a political win, even though it has nothing to do with Saturdays. And knowing him just from the outside just a little bit, he's very savvy. He reads the room. He knows how to play the game, and this would be a huge win for him if he says, "Oh, daggum, I didn't go, but some of y'all wanted me to leave. I know you did, but here I am. You're stuck with the old ball coach." I could totally see that playing out. And I think for a lot of folks, they'd be like, "Yeah, he stayed. All right." I think that's how it'll get played if he in fact stays.
If I were him, I would not go to Penn State, because if you don't finish top 10 every year, top 5 preferably, they're going to be all over you. He's already got all the money that he would ever need here. He's well liked here. He can continue to build and get better here. If you don't win the whole thing at Penn State, there's going to be some heat there. If I were him, I'd stay put right where you are. Maybe leverage it for all the money you can get, of course. But I would be, it's one of those the grass is not always greener situations. He could beat to Penn State what Brian Kelly just was to LSU. A couple of years there, and then they get restless, and out you go. And then he'd have to walk away with just $54 million.
I feel that same way about Florida. Yeah, but then they offer you gift cards.
Yeah,
so there's that.
Cards, that's a game changer. I think I'd stay if I was him.
Papers, what do you do?
I agree. I think what Doug just said is exactly what I think. Not to mention, I think he has a lot of say, a lot of sway, a lot of respect in the AD office. I think that means a lot, especially these days. And I want to be on the record that I want Eli Drinkwitz to stay. However, I think the positive trajectory of the Missouri football program doesn't end if Eli Drinkwitz leaves. I think the ceiling could be higher. It obviously could be a lot lower. I just don't think it would be a seamless transition, like the idea that you could stay relevant through a transition. I think there would be some growing pains with that. And I, as a Missouri fan, don't want to do that anymore. I want consistency. I want a program builder. And if that's Eli Drinkwitz, then awesome. And if it's not, respect. Go get your bag.
Get your bag.
Don't you like that term, go get your bag?
Go get your shine box.
No, that's different. The bag is different than the shine box.
No, yeah.
If you got the bag, then you tell somebody to get your shine box.
I see.
Jennings Randolph Jr. would tell people to get the shine box out.
Yeah, no, totally respect go get in your bag. I would prefer him to stay at Missouri and continue to build the program, continue the trajectory, because I think just because he hasn't won the big game yet doesn't mean he won't win the big game. But I don't think it necessarily starts and stops with him.
Here is Alan Dadeville, a Georgia fan, saying, as an outsider, I think this could be good for Mizzou. He's leaving the program better than he found it, better facilities, alignment with the pocketbooks, etc. That's a credit to him. A lot of infrastructure's in place. Time for Mizzou to get better X's and O's guys who can put a good staff around them and they can level up. That's from Al in Dadeville.
Yeah, that's possible. I think if he does leave, Mizzou would be in position to land a very top-notch coach. Not sure who that would be, but...
Right, the job is more attractive than it was.
Jackson wants Brian Kelly.
Oof. No dice.
it'd be interesting.
Franklin would be great. Brian Kelly's a no-go for me.
You bring back Pinkel, kind of like Bill Snyder. Came back and then left, and he came back and left, and he was always like 90, but he kept coming back and coaching. And then he did their show on Fox Midwest every Sunday night, and he would sit with his legs crossed like Frank DeFord, kind of like the praying mantis look. Bill Snyder did it. Gary Pinkel could do it. Doug.
Yeah.
A true
I don't
saint.
drink, then it's Fran Brown or nobody.
Fran Brown.
Fran Brown. Brown and Crouppen, presenting sponsor of TMA. Founded in 1979 and local. Don't you want a local law firm if you are in need of a personal injury attorney? Brody Herman came in yesterday and just spit knowledge.
Really
it was like
did.
20 minutes of just knowledge.
I got a lot of texts later in the day. People podcasted, wow.
Yes, yes, indeed. I mean, that is a clinic. Brody Herman, son of Ed Herman, Andy Crouppen, and Terry Crouppen, and they can come in because they are local. It's Brown and Crouppen, presenting sponsor of TMA, going back to 2022, 2023, signed up for 2026. Grateful for their support. We ask you to support the sponsors. It's Brown and Crouppen, 314-222-2222, or go online at brownandcrouppen.com. Remember, the choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Make sure you let them know you heard about them on TMA. Longtime TMA listeners know that we have had a relationship with Normandie Golf Course that goes back to Jay Randolph Jr., the late, great Jay Randolph Jr., and Tom O'Toole Jr., who was at one time the president of the USGA, is going to make an announcement regarding Normandie on this presentation at 8 a.m. Right. So that is coming up, and we don't know what it is.
It's a surprise announcement.
Surprise announcement.
They're probably trying to lure the Dotem back there.
I would assume it's between them, and I guess I can say it, Log Cabin.
I guess. I thought that was
And
a little
what
secret.
really goes without saying is
Log Cabin never makes you sign an NDA. They want their business out in the open.
Yeah.
bogey for the back
I'm going to
nine.
do their initiation fees coming up. So that's coming up at 8 o'clock. Then you got Jeremy Rutherford in studio taking two-part questions. You can hold him accountable for the Blues winning last night, Doug. He's going to be in, brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies at 9 o'clock. And then you got the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Big development with Seth Goldcamp and Hubbard, and with the announcement that the heating and cooling system, the brand new system, the contest is going forward, and we will have a full month of it starting in January. So January 5th will be day one of the competition. So if somebody's going to win a $10,000 prize, biggest prize ever given on this program, and it's 2 decades of existence. And now's the time to start feeling it out. See what you got when it comes to emailing in. What gets you through the filtered file? Yesterday, somebody emailed in and said that it was me or Jackson or Chairman Kurt. We're biased towards Swope Buck.
True words.
And that it's not a fair competition. Hey, you know what we're biased by? If it's quality material, and that's subjective, so you got to figure out what's going to get you through the filtered file, what's going to get you votes. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com, because now you got about 40, 50 shows before the contest starts to get a feel for it. This is your spring training. The morning after at InsideSTL.com for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Thank you to Seth Goldcamp for his support, the longest running sponsor on the program, and now giving away a $10,000 HVAC system to the winner of the January 2026 Emailer of the Month. Longest running sponsor on the program. Martin's getting a new system installed on Friday. Doug's a client. I'm a client. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. Get a feel for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today by emailing in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. This is TMA 101 ESPN.
Well, we're right around 2 weeks from Thanksgiving. In fact, the special on the turkeys is going on until November 26th. That's exactly 2 weeks away. And right now, Schnucks helping make Thanksgiving more affordable, offering you the lowest price on turkey in 15 years, rolling it back to 2010. Let's see, papers would have been in
Sixth grade.
Sixth grade.
Yep.
Those are the prices that are going on right now on your turkey for Thanksgiving. The whole frozen turkeys, just 57 cents per pound. That means you can save big on your Thanksgiving centerpiece, serve the whole family, no matter how many guests you have. To get the deal, you just make a $25 purchase, not including the price of the turkey. We'll limit one per customer. Prices do vary by store, of course. Also, savings on many of the other items that you're going to need for Thanksgiving in the weeks leading up to the holiday. So check out the weekly ad. Make sure you don't miss out on any of the deals. Hopefully by now you've downloaded the Rewards app. Also notifying you of more savings throughout the store. So getting ready for Thanksgiving, get that turkey now. Save money, rolling back prices back to 2010 levels this Thanksgiving. Let Schnucks take care of all your feast essentials.
Hey, this is Jackson with a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues win last night 3-2 over the Calgary Flames. Off today, off tomorrow. Back in action on Friday as they take on the Philadelphia Flyers right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame at 6 p.m., puck drop at 7. That was another Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Doug, is this the sickest Ween Wednesday yet?
I can't think of one that was any more ill.
Well, they're not happy with the Sports Center update.
It's a beef.
I mean, I suppose you could mention the best local hoops team, Sans. You like that, Sans?
I don't mind it, yeah.
Their starting center beating number 11 Texas Tech last night.
Oh, I watched it. That was a great game. That was world-class college basketball.
Look at this.
Oh, that was great.
Look at this. That's from Illini Greg in Green Bay. And now Jackie Papers, who didn't mention in the Sports Center update, is calling it world-class basketball.
There's three more.
Illini Greg in Green Bay is now going to kiss your ring.
3 more updates to go. But yeah, last night, Illinois, that was a great game. Physical. It relit this anger in me that the Missouri Tigers didn't get Andrej Stojakovic because Missouri played Cal last year and Stojakovic looked outstanding. That was like Dennis Gates, former Cal Bear, should be hitting that guy up every day to come to Missouri, and they went to Illinois and looked outstanding last night. That block he had at the end of the game after the offensive performance he had, great win for Underwood and the Fighting Illini.
And they play everybody. They've still, in the next couple weeks, they've got UConn, Alabama, Tennessee. That's after hosting Texas Tech, who was 11th ranked. They've got the Mizzou game. They play a great non-con every year.
Yeah, they do.
And that Peja was in the building last night. Did you see that?
Yeah. Boy, could he shoot the rock.
Illinois is going hard with those Eastern European players.
Yeah, a lot of them.
They got 2 from Croatia, 1 from Montenegro, 1 from Serbia.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Jackson's complimented Illinois, the St. Charles Illini is not happy. I don't believe Jackson's Illini love for 1 minute. It's jealousy. That's from the St. Charles Illini.
Nothing like great basketball supersedes almost all prior reservations.
Doug,
Say that again. Great basketball supersedes all prior.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
Like right now is the time with Illinois basketball where I'm like not necessarily I'm rooting for them to be good because I want them to be as good as possible for Missouri, and I'm kind of like watching to be like, okay, how can Missouri attack them? Post-Missouri game, I am absolutely rooting for Illinois to do as well as possible.
What's the exception? Kansas, if they're playing some great hoop rock, you say, I can't enjoy this.
I don't, I mean, I really dislike Kansas when they're on the same floor as Missouri. Outside of that, doesn't really bother me one way or another.
You would enjoy if they were running the floor looking good. Good ball.
Yeah. Sure.
World class is what we heard.
Last night was world class. And Texas Tech is no slouch. JT Toppin's a ball player.
Is he related to Obi?
No, sir.
I, for one, love Jackson's love for basketball. It's hot. That's from Richard Toasts.
Oh, really?
Thanks, Dick T.
I don't know if you can say that.
Fake. That's from the St. Charles Illini.
It's fine.
Mizzou sucks ass compared to us. That's from Illini Lance.
Gosh. See you on the 22nd.
And Mizzou's at the Williams Arena tonight. Watch out for that floor. Don't fall off the edge.
Yeah, the barn.
At Minnesota.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of anyone falling off the floor there. I'm sure it's happened, but it's always what you worry about when you watch a game, but it doesn't really
So many
happen.
people that would catch you.
And these are rather athletic people.
For sure.
If they come close, they can probably jump down a foot and still be okay.
Yeah.
There might be 4 people listening who actually give a rip about college basketball. It's garbage. That's from Eric in the Central West End, and he's not happy
4 people?
that Jackson was happy with what he saw from ILL against the Red Raiders.
What are you going to
Well,
do?
it seems unfair.
Can't please everybody, Doug.
Yeah, we are transitioning
But I'll tell
into-
you what pleases me
What?
is watching some good college hoops. And last night was some good college hoops.
Was it really?
There you go.
Okay.
Doug couldn't see it because he was at the Blues game where the Blues were victorious. And Jordan Binnington talked about the milestone in a game in which not only did he pass Mike Liut for most games played by a goaltender in the franchise's history, but he also was the #1 star as that Calgary Flames bunch, Doug. They were firing pucks on net. So if you were a Flames fan, you probably would have been happy because I know you love to yell,
Shoot.
correct. Here's Jordan Binnington.
Yeah, I'm truly honored and humbled. I feel like I've just we've had some good teams here, some good players here, and me personally, I've just kept my head down and just keep getting up and doing my best at whatever I got at the time. And it's cool moments like these, and to have a night like this where we get a big win, a much needed win, and I feel like we played a really good game that is good timing for us as we have a little homestand here and building our game and building momentum moving forward. So it's special and very honored. And
I didn't really like the edit there. It sounded like he was about to say something else.
I think the argue was the word "and."
Yeah, we cut him off.
And
I think you might see Jackson resign
Guys,
today.
that's a milestone for most games played, and we cut him off mid-sentence. Huh.
Shout out to the Power Hoosier in section 121 at the Blues game last night. Doug, were you at 121?
No, I was way in the rafters.
I'm sure each of the Blues defensemen heard you yell at them each time they turned the puck over, quote, that they are only playing the worst team in hockey. Hope you were able to walk safely back to your 2008 Chevy Blazer after the game to drive home to your shanty in Hillsborough.
Oh.
That's from former Ram Madison Hedgecock.
Oh, he was there.
Nothing wrong with an '08 Blazer.
What about a shanty?
You could, I'm not going
with
to
that car of curb
hate on
feeders?
anyone's hustle.
I guess as far as Bennington goes, it's clear now that he would have to be considered the best Blues goalie in franchise history.
Only one to win a cup. Played the most games.
Yeah. I think he's got most shutouts.
They've had a lot of
Most
great
games.
goalies, but none of them have been here for a long time.
They had Glenn Hall and Jacques Plante in the early years, and Liut was great.
And Turek.
Yeah, Curtis Joseph was very good. Not Turek.
Legacy.
I can play it back for you.
Grand Fuhrer.
But I guess
Furzy.
you'd have to say if you're making an all-time Blues team, Bennington's your goalie.
But Brian Elliott is still way up there on a lot of the, I think the shutouts, maybe.
Yeah. Can we get back to drink to Penn State chatter? That's from Doug's Lil River Birch. How's that River Birch?
Gone, chopped right at the roots. Tree from hell. Don't ever get you a river birch. You will regret the day. You will rue the day you ever plant that thing.
Shrubs.
Got a crack in my driveway because of it. Got clogged gutters because of it. It dropped pollen, leaves, branches.
What was its
sticks.
upside?
It was a little bit of shade, I guess. That was about it.
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Correct.
God,
Doug's Little River Birch.
It
is
wasn't
in
so
Michelob
little.
Ultra.
It was like 30, 20 feet high. 25.
Bless.
I'm going to start a protest out front. Doug's cutting down trees.
Yes.
Let's save the planet, you and me, Papers.
Yeah, I'll be the
start
Lorax.
out front.
I've also got a couple of Bradford pears that are no picnic. For a while, they were cutting those down for free because they're such an invasive species.
What do you got going on with your shrubs, bro?
I've planted a couple
Weren't you
bad trees.
Struggling with planting grass last year, too?
I pretty much got that figured out now.
Did
Oh, you were
Yeah.
planting Bermuda because you wanted to practice hitting off tight lies?
No, I didn't plant Bermuda. Tall fescue.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fescue.
The Billikens have Grand Canyon on Saturday, and they are a 3-0 club. Grand Canyon playing in the Mountain West Conference, picked fourth in the Mountain West preseason poll. First year in the Mountain West. St. Louis University versus Grand Canyon, Saturday, November 15th at 7 p.m. For tickets, go to slewbillikens.com. The 111th season of Billiken basketball. These boys are scoring some points right now. The Billikens are in their 18th season playing inside the Chaifetz Arena. St. Louis U, 221-79 all time on its home court. Robbie Avila, friend of the program, ranked as best French fries in this very studio just 2 weeks ago. It's Grand Canyon and the Billikens, Saturday, 7 p.m. For tickets, visit slewbillikens.com. Doug, check this out. Billikens, rah, rah, rah. Billikens.
Shish boom ba.
Yep, there you go. All right, big announcement regarding Normandie coming up here with Tom O'Toole. That is next on TMA. 101 ESPN. Psychiatric Care and Research Center has an opportunity for TMA listeners to make some money, and it's as simple as going to pcrc-stl.com to learn more. It's Dr. John Canelli, who has been in practice for over 40 years and has more than 20 years of experience conducting clinical research trials, and he is currently conducting studies on anxiety disorder, depression, bipolar depression, and obsessive-compulsive disorder. Compensation will be provided for your time and your travel will not be far if you are in the St. Louis metropolitan area, as the office is in O'Fallon, Missouri. If you are interested, 2 different ways to sign up. You can call 636-244-3593, 636-244-3593, or you can check out the website. That's pcrc-stl.com, pcrc-stl.com. This is beautiful.
It is. It just speaks to the history of the game.
Good for you.
This is when the guest hangs up.
Notice how the lyrics don't match up with the music?
Right. He said he couldn't hear the music while he was singing. Did the best he could.
Billy Joel always said the same thing.
Feels like a Biz Marquee hit. It's so bad it's good.
It's TMA 101 ESPN, a tribute to the Dotem by the great Andy Hanselman, bringing us back here for the Fisher Window and Door Store. 8 o'clock hour on TMA, the show presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel. Jeremy Rutherford on the Stiefel dossier joining us in studio with your two-part questions at 9 o'clock. But right now, Doug, we have a special announcement regarding a golf course that is near and dear to the hearts of TMA listeners for years, going back to the late, great Jennings Randolph Jr. and the Dotem Golf Tournament. And joining us right now to share that announcement is Tom O'Toole Jr. on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. Morning, Tom.
Morning, Tim. How you doing? That's not exactly the lead-in I was expecting, but good to be with you guys.
Probably better than you had hoped for.
Yeah, I mean, to hear a song like that, what a treat.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of sliding doors, but I almost hit Tom O'Toole yesterday in downtown Kirkwood. I believe he was walking into Duffy's. My mom and I were having lunch, and I said, "Is that O'Toole?" I mean, I didn't swerve to hit you because you're a junior Bill, but I did see. And then precipitously, hours later, Tom is texting me, and I said, "There's just kind of this weird mind meld here that Tom had." I'm glad I didn't hit you because you have news for us.
I don't know if you told Tim that my youngest son is in the Palace on Ballas in the middle school now, so let's not get down into that discussion. My oldest son is still not talking to me. No, Smet's doing a great job out there, and who thought that O'Toole would have sent his kid to Smet? But having said that, let me say this, guys. Every project, every initiative, you guys have done many of them, objective, journey in life, presuming it's successful, has a pivotal or monumental day. Today's that day for St. Charles Rock Road and the Normandie Golf Course.
Well, what is it?
Whoa! Why are you jumping?
Oh, I'm anxious to hear
We
it.
got Kurt Russell over here, and Doug's like, "Get to it."
Okay.
I wanted you to just be on the edge of your seat. So today, we just rolled out by press release issued by Emerson Corporation that they will lean in as the lead donor on this project at $7 million, and they will take naming rights. It will forever known from this day forward as the Normandie Golf Club at Emerson Park.
How about that? The Normandie Golf Club at Emerson Park.
Okay.
Lead donor at $7 million. It's a monumental day in this project's journey, and it's been a journey, as all of you know. It's hard to raise money, but on every pitch I've made, nobody ever said to me, "Wow, this is a stupid idea." That said, it's been a journey, and we're slugging it out. But today changes the landscape entirely. It changes the project. It was viable before, but all you got to do is go to Normandy Drive and St. Charles Rock Road and see 7 holes built. But today changed the landscape forevermore.
Well, congrats.
And,
I know you guys have been working hard, slugging away. It's the opposite, Tim, of what we've had, where people usually say that's a really stupid idea. We get the converse of that. So enter Emerson stepping up huge. Where are we in terms of the rollout? A lot of work's been done. I think you and I were out there in the spring. What people will text the show and say, "Hey, I just drove by there. I'm seeing some fairways. I'm seeing some greens." What is the latest?
So we got about 7 holes built. We're pushing the envelope to finish 9 holes before the weather changes. I was out there yesterday with Chris Cochran, who's Jack Nicklaus's lead designer, finishing up some things with him. It looks like that the weather and the work progress is paved to have that happen. So we'll have a 9-hole loop that when we can open those greens in the spring, that is weather dependent, but, hopefully late May or early June. And is what we promised our donors, that we would have these programs that are going to change the direction of youth in North County and beyond starting next late spring or early summer, so we can be implemented. Be working out of a trailer as we try to build the clubhouse and finish the raise on that. But we're going to be operating, and it's going to affect and change that community forevermore.
And when do you think it'll be open to the public, or the finished product?
We'll build the rest of the golf course next spring and early summer and get it seeded and sodded. And it's likely, if we get lucky, we might be able to play in late fall of next year. Otherwise, we open the other 9 in the spring of 27.
How will the course be different than the old one?
Doug, interesting. Jack did about 3 or 4 different routings on there. And you all and many of your listeners know the affection and loyalty and the following this place has. There was somewhat of a movement saying, well, we can't change it. But Jack looked at it all different ways. But at the final end analysis, first day he was there probably for 6 hours. He drove up to the top of the hill on the first hole and said, you know what? These guys were onto something. Let's stick to the major part of the original routing. And so that's what it'll be. Now, Doug, when you take out 21 acres of brush and cut down 400 trees, it's different. But one of the things, and you guys know this, but I grew up in South St. Louis. I didn't have some great affection or allegiance to Normandie. I played it in junior golf, but didn't spend a lot of time there as I got older. And the golf course was so overgrown, so dilapidated, that you couldn't really appreciate what it had. Chris Cochran said to me about 6 months ago, look, I've been to 3 of your prominent courses would be Belle Reve, Old Washington, and St. Louis Country Club. I've been to all 3 of those and played all 3 of them. I'm not saying we're going to build a better golf course than those, but this is a better piece of property in each one of them. And when you get up there and see the topography of that property and what the Fowlis brothers had in 1901 and what they built with, horses and plows, pretty amazing. So pretty close to what they had, but, modernize it.
The videos that I have seen of what has already been done, and I'm not BSing. I've said this, to you guys and friends of mine off the air. It's incredible. I mean, it is incredible. You're speaking to the layout and the caliber of the layout. It was always, the thing I would always say, Tom, it's one of the best layouts in St. Louis. It just needs that TLC. And now with a $7 million donation, and then Jack Nicklaus's involvement with his company and his vision for it, I cannot wait to see the finished product, because what I've already seen has been mind-blowing with regard to the caliber of the renovations.
Well, listen, we watch you turn yourself into a golf aficionado, so we'll take that as a compliment.
Look at that, Doug. Look at that, Doug.
Look at that. A couple of Southern Hoosiers coming to common ground here in the game of golf.
2 guys who pulled ourselves up by the bootstraps and just made something of ourselves. Doug, let's celebrate us.
You both grew up in tar paper shacks.
That's correct. Shanties.
Okay.
Shanties.
All right.
That's exactly.
So two takeaways here that we don't want to miss this morning, I think. One is Jack Nicklaus and the amount of effort and time. Yes, everybody knows he waived his fee, which is substantial. But he's been here 5 times. He designed 400 courses. I know people that hired him that he was there once. So his commitment, dedication, his absolute penchant to see this through is remarkable. The second thing is, let's not lose sight of Lyle Carson-By and the Emerson board, who saw the direction, the vision, and the merit of this investment. Substantial. We wouldn't be where we're going without it, and we are forever indebted and grateful.
And Tom, remind folks, so people who never played Normandie, never have seen The Rock, why this project matters. Because there's a lot of people who don't golf and say, well, who cares? Why are we saving a golf course? Give your take on that.
I'll give you the two-pronged strategy. One, save a community asset for who? The community. This is a not-for-profit. Tom O'Toole doesn't own this, the Metropolitan Golf Association, even our foundation, which is the charitable 501c3 entity. Yes, they have title to it. This is the community's project. People compare it to East Lake in Atlanta, which did transform. Tom Cousins transformed that region. But that's a private, exclusive club today. This is the community's club. That's number one. As Chris Kramer from Beyond Housing told me early on, if you lose a community asset, you'll never get it back. We were on the brink of losing this, and we were able to save it. The second prong of the strategy is create youth programmatic initiatives that will redirect these kids' lives in North County and beyond. We know where the youth can have the proclivity to go these days with the distraction, the lack of leadership or parenting that goes on in many of those households. Let's get programs that can influence life skills. And we have every substantial. The first tee of Greater St. Louis will be their programmatic flagship location. Boys and Girls Club, the Evans Scholar program. Every caddy will be paid for by the Evans Scholar. The golfer just extends gratuity. Boys and Girls Club, LPGA, USGA Girls Golf. So all these programs, Youth on Course, let's bring them all together to have a variety of different initiatives to redirect these kids' lives. But let's not lose sight of it. The five of us, you got four there and me, we're going to go there and play golf too. It's going to be a well-sought-after public golf course, but our primary responsibility is the implementation of these programs.
How do you keep pricing down, though, for folks who maybe in the neighborhood want to play it, too? Because you got to pay the bills. You've done a lot of fundraising, but how are you going to balance that?
Well, we made a pledge to the community that our prices for the community will be the same they were the day we closed.
Wow.
So this is going to be a community. Now, when the five of us go up there, we're going to be on a different rate schedule. But for the community, we got to be true to the community. This has got to be theirs. They got to be proud of this, and that's what our objective is. And by the way, every person we hire, as long as there's not a skill that we have to go outside the community, will be from the community. This is their project, their facility, their spot to be proud of.
That is incredible. One final question here, and maybe it's maybe I haven't been respective to what should be the lead. Ken Iggy Strode is in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, and
he wants to know if his fees will still be waived.
He says, Martin, as long as I can play for free. Tom, would you like to address the most pressing issue today? Not the $7 million, but whether or not Iggy can play Normandie for free.
Now, listen, you think this morning at 8:18 that's the first time Iggy's asked that question.
In other words, there's already been
well-versed and well capable to field those requests. And Iggy has my cell phone. I'll be hearing from him shortly.
There you go.
Okay. Maybe he could go to Jack Nicklaus if he needs to.
See if he'll just go straight to the goal.
Former USGA president.
That's right.
Tom O'Toole, who's wearing the Sportsman's Club aftershave right now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, without question.
Where can people see the updated videos, by the way, Tom? Because I've seen them on social media, but for a place that, because they're so good, they really are.
Yeah, and you know who does that? Kurt Rowe from the Golf Association does all those. He's a drone specialist, but you can get them on either NormandyReimagined.org or you can get them on METGA, the Metropolitan Amateur Golf Association.org. Those are available. And everybody that gave a dime will receive this press release this morning with updated video. And then the irony is the synergy is tonight at Old Warson Country Club is the Metropolitan Amateur Golf Association Player of the Year reception and recognition affair. And so we'll roll out a special video there tonight on this announcement. But you guys got this first, so
how about that?
Revel in it, will you?
Yeah, Doug, celebrate.
We're newsmakers. Stop by to deliver the news.
Exactly right. Mm-hmm. When you want St. Louis sports news, by default, we're here. Tom, enjoyed the conversation. Congratulations on what has been really an incredible story for a famous golf course that means so much to so many people in the St. Louis area, and what has already gone on and what now will be able to continue to go on with Normandie. Outstanding.
Yeah, well, thanks, Emerson. But the one ask as I leave is, will you guys, you have been and continue to be advocates for this project?
Absolutely.
I think it matters, and we need advocates, and we appreciate all you've done previously and will continue to do.
Yeah, I loved the place before the renovation, but now, I mean, I see videos. It truly is incredible. I recommend people check it out. Tom, thank you so much for breaking the news on the program.
Good to be with you. Have a good day. Thank you.
Tom O'Toole.
Tom's all business. All right, there you go.
On TMA. Yeah, Doug, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the videos because we've played out there together. And I know a number of TMA listeners over the years because we've had events there, and we'll be bringing the Dotem back there. You'll just be blown away. I mean, it looks so good.
Really?
I can't say enough good things about it. When I see these videos pop up, I'm just going, my God. And so to keep the rates the same for the people in the community, that's phenomenal.
Tim, with you, there's no charge, of course.
Well, I mean, I think that was
that goes without
implied.
saying.
You have
Yes.
the South City thing, you have the Irish thing, you have the St. Louis U High thing. I mean, we're just checking box after box after box. And also, as Doug calls me, a big wheel in the market. Is that what you say? A big wheel in
That's
the
what I've
market?
said
Even
in
though
the
I'm kind of a
past.
smaller wheel size-wise, but metaphorically, yeah, big wheel. So there it is, $7 million donation. That's big-time doings there. Tip of the cap. And thank you to Tom O'Toole Jr. for breaking that news here on TMA.
I can't
with the
imagine-
show's long ties to Normandie.
I can't
with Jay
imagine
Randolph Jr.
the cost involved in turning a course like that around.
What do you think,
It's just gotta
30,
be
35,000?
less than that, but probably a lot more than even the $7 million. Less than 30,000, but more than $7 million.
It sounds like in terms of the development or the redo, they're about halfway there. So next fall, it sounds like is the targeted date. I'd been kind of wondering that too, because you see the work being done, and Jack Nicklaus's guy is out there all the time. So maybe a little under a year away from it being open.
There it is. Outstanding news. Love hearing it. Thanks to Tom for joining us. Martin, thank you for setting that up. I don't know if you set it up because you nearly hit the man or what wound up happening.
My mom and I were in Kirkwood yesterday, and I was like, there's Tom O'Toole. He's walking down the middle of the street. I believe he's going to Duffy's. And I kind of wanted to roll down the window and yell at him, and then I was just awkward. I'm like, maybe I should just focus on not hitting him.
Yeah.
And then
Because
he could be
you've
our
already been
guest.
in one accident. That's
Yes,
right.
and it's been a rough week.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome to get involved in the program. A lot of people delighted with that news. 314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service. Text inbox. Got the YouTube channel. You open up the YouTube app, you type TMA STL in there, and then you're talking to 250 people on the nose in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, including Ken Iggy Strode and Libby Jackie DiCaprio, who has a Mississippi State logo. This year, or this week, and I think it might change to Oklahoma next week. That's brought to you by Michelob Ultra. You can email in for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Martin, can you tell us about Design Air, if you would?
Yeah, love Design Air, St. Louis-based company, and they've been around a long time, more than a century. We've told you guys that we had beers with Seth. We just started talking about how it began for his family, how it's evolved over the years. Of course, heating, cooling, that's changed incredibly. You can start doing things now from your phone, controlling the temperature. If you wake up in the morning, all the advancements. But one thing that's maintained for Design Air Heating and Cooling is that customer service. It's so important when you have them in your home. It's going to be somebody you trust. And then down the road, if you have any issues, you want to have a company that stands behind their work. Well, it's a family-owned business. It wasn't sold to an out-of-town company. That's what's so important. You'll notice the difference when you work with Design Air. I've got them coming out on Friday doing the install. Looking forward to working with their team. DesignAirService.com is the website where you can set up an appointment if you have any issues or if you just want to be ahead of the storm, ahead of the winter. Get it tuned up right now before winter takes hold for months at a time. DesignAirService.com, the website. Seth Goldcamp and his team, also longest-running sponsor here on TMA. So when we say support the sponsors, it starts with Design Air.
There it is. Design Air Heating and Cooling. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. The program's called TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN.
Hey, we could celebrate the great news for Normandie Golf Club by heading up to the Village Bar. Always a great spot for lunch, great spot when watching the game. Folks were there last night watching the Blues. The games are always on. NFL fans, college football, Mizzou games, the game's always on, and folks are just sort of hanging out. You can tell it's just a great place to hang out. You've known that for years about the Village Bar, but less known is that in the barn out back, that's the home to 1879 Distilling, and they're making award-winning premium small batch liquors, things like Red Barn vodka, 1879 rye, 1879 bourbon, all of it being made right back there in the barn next to Village Bar. It's an homage to the early days of distilling the German heritage here in St. Louis. They've started this up, and people are noticing a difference. You have a drink, order it specifically with Red Barn Vodka or 1879 Bourbon. You will taste the difference. Ask for it around town when you're at the grocery store or at a restaurant. Or if you're at the Village Bar, make sure you sample the 1879 products. Great website telling you more about it. 1879distilling.com. You will taste a difference, quality and tradition. It's 1879 Distilling, St. Louis, Missouri.
Nice to get some good music around here. Mm-hmm.
So what is this, an MMF?
No,
They're kind of vying for the same girl's love.
I think so. And he's
That
saying,
girl
hey, that's
being
my
Bill.
girl, Bill.
I don't know.
I agree with you, Martin. I think it's
You
open
guys
to
are all
interpretation. It's like
getting
watching
sucked
The
in.
Graduate. I mean, you can look at it from the literary sense, but I think there's some symbolism going on here.
But then again, I could be wrong because I would like to issue a correction here on the show.
I hope you apologize on Twitter.
I believe earlier I was stating how Mizzou is going to be in that Williams Arena. That's a tough place with that raised floor. I think we talked about that Williams Arena this week. All of that is interesting, except Mizzou is at home tonight. It's $2 beer night in Como as Mizzou hosts the University of Minnesota.
They were not happy with you in the Air Comfort Service text inbox.
I noticed that. So I'll be taking some time away at about 10:01.
Oh, no.
I'm going to reflect on it. I'm going to call Coach Gates directly and apologize because I may have affected attendance by saying. So get in your car, head down to Como. I'll send you some Jay Dellison golf balls. You go to the game tonight, Mizzou hosting the Golden Gophers.
So now we don't have to worry about people falling off the
Correct.
court at Williams Arena.
Correct.
Okay.
I believe the Antlers were halfway to the Twin Cities, and now they're turning around.
Jackson attacked the Antlers while you were off, Doug, and that caused a whole thing.
What'd you say about the Antlers?
I didn't necessarily attack them.
I can have the audio played back.
That's fine. I
Kurt
feel
can move to the board.
I could see you as a member of the Antlers. Diehard Tiger fan.
This is not going to go well.
ouch.
You wouldn't like to be right in the middle there, really giving it to the referees?
Not personally. I don't. I've made my feelings toward the Antlers clear for a while now. It's just I appreciate the fandom, love their passion.
Yeah.
Just sometimes it's a little much.
Is it?
Personally, in terms of prioritizing things I don't necessarily like, it's super low. It's fine. It's just not for me personally.
It's just a fun thing for a group of fans.
100%.
All right. So I'm surprised you hate them to the level that you seem to.
Right. No, I can understand why you deduce that.
Give your thoughts on the variety of topics. 314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service text inbox. Then you can also talk it over with other TMA listeners. YouTube.com/TMASTL. 6,180 friends have subscribed to the TMASTL channel. Subscribe to the program and talk it over with Joey's Churned Butter, NY, Jake and St. Genevieve, the TMA Remote Lamp, Ken Iggy Strode, and Donna Mallett's Hip Huggers. They're all in there, and they're talking it over, and it's a wonderful time.
And Donna Mallett has Hip Huggers?
Correct.
Were you around when those jeans were popular?
I feel like they're very popular now.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, kind of by accident, but still.
Denim fashion's always all over the place.
Clip that off.
It's true. It used to be skinny. Now it's much baggier is now the look.
Okay.
So it's cyclical.
Doug, do you get the link sent to you here by Jackie Papers?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Did you see the one about what do you call her, Sofaller?
Oh yeah, this was a big nothing burger.
It's your link.
I know.
Is the segment called
I thought it when I sent
Burger?
it. I thought it when I sent it, forgot about it, and now remember it's a nothing burger. She took a picture with a country singer, and Yahoo Entertainment's like, is Sophie Cunningham in a relationship? Click on our ad with 14 pop-ups.
But you sent the link to us.
I'm aware of what
So
I
you
did.
got.
No. I knew what I was doing when I sent it.
Is this stuff for our ears or our eyes?
Well,
Because 9-2 says more stuff for your ears.
That's right.
That's after JR's two-parters.
That's right.
J. Rutherford, two-part questions, 9 o'clock, brought to you by Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
Well, I think we led the program once with Sophie Cunningham took a picture with, who was it?
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, right. Mm-hmm. And so I figured if that was a lead, this could at least be, link number 8.
But now you're saying that it was clickbait and it's not real? She was at the Missouri-Texas A&M game. I saw her on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And she was at the Riley Green concert, I believe, in Kansas City.
Yeah, and had a picture with Riley Green.
Yeah. And so
that sparked rumors that there was something going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of the meat of the article is what people on Instagram said in the comments.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did anybody do a hologram with video behind them?
I smell a relationship budding, another person added. She totally likes it. A TikTok
There's
user
journalism
commented.
sourcing, Doug. Another person added.
Riley would be a good guy for her, another added. So yeah, this was nothing.
But again,
I get the question, why would I then include it?
She's done a great job of marketing herself. I'll give her that. She's all over the place.
I think it's more like the fact that she takes a picture with somebody and that becomes an article in Yahoo Entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, safe to say that the barrier to entry to certain publications has been lowered. All being said, still interesting that,
she's a hot
star
right now.
She's a star.
She might get something big in show business out of this.
I think she'll be great in media.
I agree with that.
She's a great ball player.
I thought that before she kind of became mainstream when she went to the Fever with Caitlin Clark.
Right.
She always was an entertaining personality, and she would do pre- and post-game for the Phoenix Suns when she was out there playing for the Mercury, right?
She called a couple Missouri basketball games in the non-con section of the schedule.
Yeah.
She's great.
But once she went and played with Caitlin Clark, that's when the whole thing.
Yeah, you're going to
like, who is this?
Right.
And now, Doug, her dating life is on our show.
Right.
But it's a nothing burger.
Yeah, like
Apparently so.
less than nothing. She just took a picture with a guy.
Is that an Impossible Burger or that's a veggie burger? An Impossible
Have
burger.
you had one of those?
I don't think so. Look at me.
Yeah.
It's a nothing burger is different than an Impossible burger.
Impossible. Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Are you okay?
It's emotional. It's
Such
emotional.
a passion for lean beef, but
That off as well.
it tastes too close to it, and knowing it's not real kind of makes me uneasy. It's like, what flavor are you adding to make this taste kind of like a burger? Bless you, Chairman.
And it's actually just vegetables?
Yeah, some compound.
I'll take things I couldn't give a damn less about for $500, Alex. That's from Doug's prison.
Totally get it, man. Totally. You're not going to get any argument from me on that one.
Brian Henshin, I guess, is covering the
Indiana.
Fever this week because the Colts have a bye week. And he says she is a joy to cover. Zero filter. Very thoughtful. She's no Tim, but...
That's it, and I remember in my mind thinking, wow, there's nothing to this article. Send.
But they'd make a fine couple, another person said.
Another.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No substance.
The picture was taken in St. Louis!
Okay. I didn't know if it's St. Louis or Kansas City. Feels like it's
Kansas City, but
feels like it doesn't really matter.
Kind of like the Mizzou game, whether it's on the road or at home, back your Tigers.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where the game's being played.
They're on a 1-game winning streak at the barn, though. You can ask Sean East about that 2 years ago.
Think about it.
Yep.
okay. Well, we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
Chairman Kurt just said in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat that Riley Green, voom, Doug.
Okay.
Don't kink shame. I see where you're going to go, and I'm just warning you.
I sent a text to the text inbox. It's for Doug's eyes only, but you needed to Google Riley Green shirtless.
Why?
That man is just chiseled.
Okay. A lot of people in show business try to stay in shape.
And this guy's at the top of the list.
Another person added.
Actually, we were talking in the break room yesterday. Myself, Learn, Jesse Kiowski, and Jamie Rivers, we were talking about Riley Green shirtless. So this is kind of coming full circle.
Office chatter.
It's a new segment in the Stiefel dossier.
That could be.
Office
Why don't you
chatter.
just do a segment called Nothing Burgers and things that became topics that shouldn't have?
Okay.
And they just start with monitoring first take and scribble a few notes.
Sure.
This whole show doesn't really matter. That's some Cuckleberry Finn.
That's the right existential question to be asking. What does matter?
That could also be after clearing the deck.
Oh, man.
We've covered a lot of ground. We got a Blues win. Doug still says he's not pleased with the team.
Got Jeremy Rutherford in studio in 21 minutes taking two-part questions on that Stiefel dossier, Martin.
Normandy news, big donation. Emerson getting behind him. Looks like The Rock will open next fall. And now we kind of came to a screeching halt with a nothing burger. No offense.
I don't think it's a screeching halt at all. Okay. I think it's just.
I can't wait to play Normandy when it opens up again.
Oh, you
So
and me
Jay
both.
Jr., did he run it for a while? Is that what it was?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He wouldn't like when people would call up there and ask
Yeah.
if it was going to rain.
He had to put out videos saying,
Some of the
Daddy
best
is not a weatherman.
Some of the best videos. Because I was working at a golf course at the time. He was putting out those videos, and he was preaching to the choir.
He had a video where he said, please don't use the restrooms.
He said that people would take their morning constitutional.
And Senior Iggs didn't like to pay?
No,
Going to-
God, no.
Okay.
For anything, really.
Okay. Yeah, why would I? I mean, people know who I am.
5-iron golf is the ultimate indoor golf experience. So before Normandy is ready, you can play at 5-iron golf. Whether you're a serious golfer or just looking for a great night out, you will love playing iconic courses on TrackMan simulators, enjoying chef-inspired dining, and relaxing in a vibrant bar setting. Host events, sharpen your skills, or simply have fun. 5-iron golf is your new go-to destination in Clayton. These TrackMan simulators include 200-plus world-class courses, including Pebble Beach and St. Andrews. And if you just want to practice, you have the TrackMan, and you can track your data, various range settings. That's what I love to do. And if you want to hang out with some people and play courses, you can do that while enjoying some libations and the chef-inspired dining. It's quite a setup when you walk in. You will not believe it. I love going to Five Iron Golf. Go there with my family, and you can join. Memberships are only $169 per month, and that includes your golf every day, discounts on food, drinks, lessons, leagues, and even club fitting. It's fiveirongolf.com, fiveirongolf.com. Become a member. Let them know you're a TMA listener at fiveirongolf.com. Jeremy Rutherford in studio at 9 o'clock taking your two-part questions. The Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day coming your way at 10:45. This is TMA 101 ESPN.
This is Jackson with the Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling in a big ranked matchup in Champaign last night. The Illinois Fighting Illini defeat the Texas Tech Red Raiders 81-77. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Oh, look at this. You're changing your tune.
Yeah, I felt like we got off to a kind of a sad start to Monday's program, but weather started to warm
Wednesday.
up. Yeah, so Wednesday's arrived, middle of the week.
Sunny skies in St. Louis, Missouri, a Blues win.
Yep, I think
Illinois played what you call the world-class basketball game in defeating number 11 Texas Tech.
Yep, yeah. So I think it's I think the worm is starting to turn a bit.
You already had your ween out, so we've got new music to play.
What was that?
Well, we had Ween Wednesday. He already played that. He had that out earlier. And then now we're moving into Bill Withers, the great Bill Withers.
Guys, I got a question.
Okay. I don't usually take them, but...
Well, Jeremy Rutherford's doing two-parters.
Okay.
Coming up at 9 o'clock. So, Blues fans, that's coming your way here in
He actually
10
has
minutes.
to bring a notepad just so he can handle the influx of questions.
Mr. Siders asks, what's with the producers of this show going on vacations with other guys? That's from Mr. Siders. Chairman Kurt, Jackson, I guess that's directed in your purview?
Yeah.
Did that come up today?
Not to my knowledge.
It might have been in the pre-show meeting.
I forget
and
a
we
lot.
now are doing those live on YouTube.
Kurt talked about the dreamy Riley Green.
But they weren't traveling together. Kurt often travels alone, which led to people believing he was a serial killer.
I did go to Mexico with my best friend. Sometimes you just got to get away with the boys.
Yeah. It's more fun to travel with someone. It's also easier. Two people can figure out where you're going and where you need to be as opposed to just one.
What a ridiculous text.
Okay, calm down.
It's just a ridiculous
They're single
text.
gentlemen, so they enjoy taking trips with friends.
I think Siders is just hating because he can't get away with his boys. Maybe he didn't have any boys.
Oh, damn.
Well, here we go.
Here we go now.
I don't know why he would send in such a text, but it's not like weird it's weird to go on vacation with your friends.
You pretty much had it now, haven't you?
And you got grilled because you went with your buddies up to O.B. Clark's on a weeknight to watch some sports because that was so weird.
Right.
Well, he also went camping with 19 other fellas in Tennessee.
Wasn't camping, wasn't 19.
Okay.
Might have been a baker's dozen, and it was in a large home. It was log, but I wouldn't call it a cabin.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that did happen.
A little suspicious.
Okay. Doug also tells a story about driving down to Fort Lauderdale with all of his buddies. You don't hear anyone being like, "Oh, just smooch him there, Vaughn."
Oh,
Smooching with the boy.
there were 5 of us in a Lincoln Town Car, I think it was. Someone got their dad's Lincoln Town Car. Wasn't near big enough.
What made it a town car?
I don't know. It's just what they called it. It was big car. They didn't have minivans back then.
Sure. A lot of those cars were real heavy, weren't they? Just made of.
Oh, yeah. With huge engines. You could go 95 miles an hour.
We met some creeper at our conference who was heading to Disney by himself. No wife, no kids, grown midlife man. Creeper alert on high. That's Sharon in Clayton. She's at a conference where single gentlemen are going to Disney World by themselves, I gather?
Well, everybody has to see it at least once. But you'd like to go maybe take a child with you, wouldn't you?
Hopefully one that you know.
Right. Even if it's a niece, a nephew, a grandchild.
Don't apologize for having friends, Kurt. It's a slippery slope with this crew. Also, treat yourself and email Jay Delsing while he still has some golf balls left. That's from Arbor Day.
I'd love some golf balls.
What do you play? You like left dash because of the spin?
I don't care what they are. I never notice any difference. I'm not good enough to notice much difference in the balls.
Doug shared a room in Columbia with a bunch of dads. That's from Chairman Stephen Wildwood.
Had to sleep on the floor.
And that doesn't get brought up either, does it, Jack?
No, it's
they're out of hotels.
Selective, isn't it, Papers?
I wouldn't go after Doug for that because I understand. But I'm just saying, where's the
How about a fair shake for my guy?
right? Call it both ways.
It was there in the streets.
Well, I get it.
Worsonwood's Wacko has questions.
Okay. I don't really remember putting my life up for survey. What are your thoughts on Jackson's private life? Isn't necessarily, but I'm fine with it.
No, yeah, you're okay.
Comes with the territory.
He wants to know like what the bed situation was in the Smoky Mountains.
I slept on like a windowsill, dude. It was nuts. Now
Windowsill?
wide. It was like a wide windowsill where they had put like padding down, and they like counted that as a bed. I was like, that is very creative real estate work right there.
Yeah, gosh.
But
Yeah,
it was
you're out of
kinda-
space when you're sleeping on the windows.
It was pretty though, because it was out there in the middle of nowhere, so it was just like stars.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool, but it was a one-man windowsill situation.
You suppose you'll ever sleep outside again the rest of your life?
I'll probably go camping at one point in my life
You
again. I won't look forward to it, but I probably will.
Mr. Siders is back. When I think of Tulum, I think of cuddling my best mate, tongue wrestling all night long. Mr. Siders, usually critical of Jackson's 7-iron distance today, critical of Jackson and Chairman Kurt's vacations.
Don't know what to tell you, man. Don't know what to tell you.
No.
This segment's getting me all sorts of turned on. Thanks, TMA.
Okay.
That's from Richard Toast.
That's always the idea. It's really the idea with QFDA. Really try to get you going.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, sometimes you go on vacation with your significant other. Sometimes you go with your friends. One's not weirder than the other.
But if you had a significant other, you wouldn't leave them to go on vacation with a friend.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah. Well, like just one friend or a group
Well,
of guys.
what would the significant other think about that?
If you just went with one other friend?
Well, if you just left them behind and went on vacation without them.
So when you get married, you're expected to just never do anything independent of this person ever again?
Pretty much.
Sign me up for that.
I don't know what to tell you.
Guys, is Windowsill one of Jackson's buddies from grade school? Thanks. Free perk. That's Brian Henshin.
I can understand
Colts.
Because you do have weird nicknames for your buddies, that's not bad.
I have weird nicknames that I call them on the radio. I don't actually call them mostly
For
these
sure.
names.
But you don't call Herb.
No, that's a difference. I sometimes call him Herb,
Okay.
but mostly call him by
Private
his real
Citizen
name.
Pete, what do you call him?
Pete
And what do they call you?
Jackson.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
You don't have a weird name?
Not really.
But you could have a friend, knowing the tone of the show. If you said, oh, tonight I'm going to watch some Mizzou Hoop Rock, Windowsill and I are going to go up to Obie Clark's.
That's right.
That sounds possible.
Very
Get those
fair.
dirty wings. I'd
I
recommend
think
that.
that's what
fair.
Henshin grabbed onto.
Delicious. No,
Is that what you're doing? Is that where you're watching the game?
No, Missouri, Minnesota. That'll be in my chambers.
You going to do a live stream?
No, only for postseason. I don't need to exhibit myself like that during a non-con game.
Sharon and Clayton. Doug, girls trip? How else are we going to ride around on a trolley and yell, woo?
Well,
that's
that's
Sharon
true.
and Clayton.
Yeah, bachelorette parties. We'll give you a pass on that one.
Yep, if you're tired of money and being right, then you need to get yourself a wife. That's from the sheepy reporter. Doesn't sound like he's enjoying his marriage.
If you're tired of money. Well, there's some truth to that, sure.
All he does is hang out with guys. Dude hasn't seen a girl in ages. Harrison's brother, Master, always monitoring Jordan, Cairo, Jackson, and maybe Kurt. I don't know.
Why do they care so much?
I'm an easy target.
I mean, we're all sitting here for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'm literally a sitting duck.
Jeremy Rutherford's going to become a sitting duck here in the next half hour. He's going to be with us. Brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, taking your two-part questions on the St. Louis Blues. That is coming up here in a matter of moments. I would like to recommend 100 West Dental and Dr. Brandon Pryor, great sponsor on TMA, and somebody who is offering $1,000 off Invisalign when you mention my name at 100 West Dental. No phone calls needed to get in either. Just check the calendar online at 100westdental.com for availability and book right then and there. It's 100 West Dental, and if you don't have dental insurance, that's not a problem. The membership plan aids in the cost of dental work for those who don't have dental insurance. 100westdental.com. Dr. Brandon Pryor. I know people go, man, I don't want to go to the dentist. It's not what I want to do. Bad dental health can impact your health throughout your body. You got to get checked up, and you're in and you're out, and now you don't even need to call. You just go to 100westdental.com, and when you go there, it's on Manchester and Baldwin. You'll go, this doesn't even look like a dentist's office. New technology, totally different vibe. 100westdental.com. Give them my name and you get $1,000 off. Invisalign, if you're not sure you want to go through with Invisalign, they have a digital scanner that'll show you what it'll look like before you even go through with it. It's 100westdental.com, 100westdental.com. Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies, presenting Jeremy Rutherford. Two-part questions on your St. Louis Blues. Coming up next, send them in. Load up the Air Comfort Service text inbox, 314-399-9646. That's how you can text in your two-parters for JR. Next on TMA, 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel.
Your hometown home loan provider. Of course, when I say that, I'm talking about Together Credit Union. They're here for you throughout the entire process as your hometown home loan provider. Together Credit Union has a home loan solution for every buyer out there. Get in on the action, whether you're buying your first home, downsizing, sizing up, second mortgage, whatever it is, they have a plan for you. Fixed rate, adjustable rate, conventional, jumbo loans, all of it. And we like these specialty loans, including the community contributor mortgages that are designed for teachers, firefighters, healthcare, and emergency medical professionals. Even more benefits, which include low down payment, lower interest rates, no private mortgage insurance requirements. All of these available to you for our community contributors, teachers, firefighters, healthcare, emergency medical professionals. Look into this. Awesome opportunity from Together Credit Union. All of this being done here in-house in St. Louis. The underwriting, the servicing, everything right here. So find out more by going to togethercu.org for full rates, terms, details, all of that. And here's to making St. Louis your home. Together Credit Union, an equal housing lender, federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back. It is the Morning After 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. And you're welcome to participate because Jeremy Rutherford is here, presented to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Unbelievable.
This is the gallery.
What's up, boys?
Well, the people want to text in those Air Comfort Service text inbox with the 314-399-9646 for the two-part question. Did you bring your notebook to track them today, or are you going to go from memory?
I'm going to do memory, so I'll probably be asking you, can you repeat that a couple times? And also, don't let me forget, like I have a couple weeks, I have a two-parter for you guys.
Ooh, Doug isn't taking questions. Martin and I will.
Okay.
But Doug will only do that over text if you want to do it with him, but he won't do it on the air. Hey, JR, my wife said she liked your wife's clothes she had on the other day. Any idea what she was wearing? Christmas is coming up. That's from Dillian Harpoon. Do you know Dillian Harpoon?
Hot start.
I do not, and I've never seen my wife in clothes, so I don't know what
Doug,
clothes they're
how am I
talking
going to
about.
explain that to my kids?
You're not swingers, are you?
No. We went through that a couple weeks ago. You were probably in the Hamptons.
Probably so.
Given his longevity after the Cup win, will Binnington go down as the best Blues tendy of all time despite his down years? And question 2, would you like to join us for dinner tonight? Mrs. DGen is making venison steaks and jalapeno poppers. That's the DGen from Jeffco. I don't have a long drive.
R.I.P. that
Poppers.
toilet.
Do we have bacon wrapped around those jalapeno poppers?
DGen, you'll have to call in.
Yeah, you got to call in. Are you guys taking calls today?
We are taking calls. Doug's not taking calls.
No, it's just stop at the question.
Hey, there's going to be a statue of Jordan Binnington at Enterprise Center. That's my thought.
He is the best goalie they've had in their franchise history, don't you think?
Yeah,
He'd be number one.
when it comes to the career and what he's accomplished, for sure. Yeah, with the Stanley Cup, and then now all of a sudden the most wins and the most games played, and you could look at obviously other goaltenders throughout the history of the franchise. Curtis Joseph, Grant Fuhrer, even Marty Brodeur, cup of coffee here. But you look at the career, and it's Jordan Binnington. So what do you guys think? I wrote about this a couple weeks ago. When they do the statue of Jordan Binnington outside, how do you think it's going to look? Because you got Hully, you got McKinnis with their poses. What's
Kick, save, and a beauty. That's what I see. Kick, save, and a beauty. That's what I visualize.
Maybe a little puck in his back pocket. Too soon.
I asked Joel Hofer, and he said it's got to be raising the Stanley Cup.
Because that does distinguish him from some of those other greats.
Yep.
You really think he'll get a statue?
I think so. I think that if you look at that group of players from the Stanley Cup team, there's certainly a number of them that contributed and probably will be in the Blues Hall of Fame. But I think when it comes to career and what he meant to that Cup team, I think it's going to be Binnington.
You think Tim will get a statue here outside the radio station?
Ding, 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 ding.
Ooh, doing his own. I like that. I think it's the right thing, though, and thank you for championing the cause.
Okay.
JR, I remember being in the newsroom when the Post-Dispatch gave you an award for filing your 900th story and how Joe Strauss grabbed the award and hid it in his pants. I've never seen you madder. That's from Newt Bowl eligible, who used to write at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Hey, I've always wanted to tell you guys this Joe Strauss story. You guys obviously familiar with him with the balloon party stuff, and I hope that he doesn't strike me down here when I say something like this. But he would call and ask some questions about the Blues, because he's writing a column the next day, and I'd say, "Well, I'm hearing this, and I heard that, but you can't write that because I heard that from this person." The next day, I wake up and all that stuff's in the column, and he's writing it with just like fire and like Joe, come on, man, settle down.
Let's see. Jordan's statue should be that save in Game 7 against Boston. Leg behind him. That's from Doug's prison wallet.
Legs akimbo.
Legs akimbo, I believe.
Okay.
JR, can the Blues trade some opponents so they can play the Flames 10 more times? That would be a hockey trade, correct? And second question, deer and jalapeno poppers is about as Hoosier as it gets, but doesn't a sit-down Jeffco meal also require a constant flow of Velveeta and Rotel that sat in a crock pot from the 60s for 10 hours? That's Carlos Spicy Wiener.
They don't do that in other places, Chairman? That's a thing. That's a staple where we live. Yeah. What about sometimes you have that Rotel out overnight, and then I'll go for breakfast in the morning down to the kitchen.
Yeah, lay a base for the day. Let's see, I don't know what this has to do, but if you want to tend to it, JR, how would you go about fixing the St. Louis airport considering it's a piece of dog ass?
Oh, Lambert Hooterville, Joe Strauss used to say. Right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if you have any airport thoughts, but the people are asking for them.
Not too many thoughts. I put my head down, and being such a popular guy here in St. Louis, you wear the sunglasses. And,
yeah, sure, I understand.
And put the hat down. So I don't pay it too much attention. But I'll be at the airport. I'm going on this next road trip with the Blues. You're gonna pick some cities. Might as well pick Toronto, New York. Right?
Wow, is it a 5-gamer?
The airport has a plan right now to make it one big terminal instead of 2 separate terminals. They're getting ready to spend hundreds of millions or $1 billion or something to try to.
Well, I think Jack Nicklaus and his people went out there and looked at it and said, we can't do anything.
Yeah, he could do it.
He just redesign.
Hey, JR, weekly Cairo update. Health bomb last
Carlos.
week. That's it's Harrison's brother, Master.
Oh, Harrison.
13 minutes last night, yet the organization says he's a core player. LOL. 3 coaches. LOL. Harrison's brother, Master. There wasn't really a question as I read that, JR.
Or every week.
But it is, he's seeking a Jordan Cairo update from your perspective.
Wait, I think, did Harrison, again, you guys know I listen all week long. Did Harrison say a couple days ago, you need to get somebody on talking about Cairo who's not local? Like you need a national
I think he
guy
was
to come on
critical
and
of local guys babying Cairo, I believe.
And it is what it is. The thing that I look at when I talk about Cairo, and I give Harrison the answer to this question every week, is like, what else are you going to say? Jordan Cairo is a St. Louis Blue, just like Pavel Buchnevich is a St. Louis Blue. Pavel Buchnevich, at one point in his last 9 games, he has no 5-on-5 points in his last 12 games. Like you look at Robert Thomas, he's been kind of a little bit up and down. That line last night, tons of chances, tons of opportunities. Thomas hit a few posts. They're just not producing. You can focus on Cairo all you want, but to me, it's the top 6.
Yeah, Buchnevich played more than anybody else. He had more ice time than anyone else.
19 minutes, yeah.
Were you like me, where it was last night watching the game? It was great to get the win, but not terribly impressed.
Yep, 100%. And you take the wins as they come, and it's Calgary, so on and so forth. But to give up another 2-goal lead and get outscored in the second period again, it's
and
fine.
They came within a couple of inches of giving up another 6-on-5 goal right at the end.
Easily could have been tied there at the end, but hey, you got to give them. I always say this: you got to give them credit when they pull things out, because we've been critical too many other times.
What did you make of? I asked Kerber about this. I don't know if you were listening on Monday when he was on about Frank Saravelli and him saying that Doug Armstrong is open for business. And I was, I think a number of people actually were surprised. Number one, to see that, but open for business, that's vague in the sense of he's making calls, or is he just getting calls because people are going, oh, maybe they want to make a move. What is your understanding of the Blues' mindset with where they are, even though it is, 20% of the way through the season?
Yeah, when you did the interview with Kerber, I was having beers with Seth. Sorry, I just wanted to say that one time there.
Oh, did you? That was early. 8:50, you got to lay a base after you go down and get out of the crock pot.
Quick trip parking lot.
Yeah. But no, so I saw, obviously what's reported about Doug Armstrong being open for business. But here's the way I look at it. It's like the 3rd year that we've heard that Doug's open for business. I think that what happens, you guys probably heard this before, but not only is Doug possibly taking calls and also making calls, but there's a channel for the GMs to put that information out, what they're doing, open for business. And, over the years, it's even been an email. You blast an email out to the other GMs. And I think there are GMs around the league who have felt the past year or two that when Doug got it out there that he's open for business, and he knows it's going to get out, that he's sending a message to the players, and whether that works or doesn't work or whatever, it's kind of a threat to the players. Like, listen, we can change things up here. You can be. I know a number of them have no trade clauses, but I do think that Doug has fielded calls. I know that for sure. I know that teams have reached out about Jordan Cairo. I've heard that he's potentially made calls. There have been reports about that where teams are saying, hey, we're just not ready yet, so you'll have to circle back. So there's communication going back and forth, but I think big picture, this is just a situation where Doug sees the situation for what it is right now, and he knows that eventually he might have to do something, and this is just kind of starting to lay the groundwork.
JR, one-parter, what did you think of the music the other? I mean, it doesn't matter, but I just thought it was really interesting that Jim Montgomery felt the need, as he said, to get some energy for his team. I just think that's telling in terms of kind of their collective personality, maybe. And the fact that he admitted, like, I'm trying to, let's go, guys. Let's get a little spark here. I mean, it's an interesting tact.
It's definitely a fair point to say, hey, look, if you got to jam the music in practice, if you're looking for something, like, where is it from within the team? I totally get that. I don't get too caught up in trying to, and I'm not saying you're reading too much into it, but, you know, just like, oh, gosh, they got to do that. Well, then they must need X, Y, Z. You know, coaches are constantly across the league over the years, different coaches here in St. Louis, they've all done weird things. A lot of them don't get reported, but they're just trying to mix up the monotony of the long season. Like, you guys know that the baseball season is a long season, but hockey, just for whatever reason, you get to those dog days of January, February, you know, the Blues are off to such a tough start that those dog days are going to come sooner. And I felt like whether people looked at it as the Blues are missing something because they got to play music, I get that. But I just think, you know, you try to mix up the work days and make it fun to come to the rink.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was a big deal. It was kind of fun.
Right.
I had no problem with it at all. I just think it speaks to the fact he's recognizing maybe what we recognize, that it's kind of a quiet
For
group.
sure.
Needs a little, you could always slide a note under the door, too. That doesn't always work.
I think there's something to the fact that when your best players, the opinion leaders on the team, are quiet and laid-back guys, and that's kind of Thomas and Kyrou and Bennington. They're not real firebrand personalities.
Right.
Then the younger guys aren't going to be that way either. And then suddenly the whole team is kind of quiet and laid back, which is not really maybe what you want on a hockey team.
No, and I agree with you. The one thing, you know, this isn't to counter what you're saying, but I think you talk to people the last 10 or 15 years in hockey, and the style of leadership has changed. Like, we're used to the Brian Sutter, you know, rah-rah, and, you know, not just here in St. Louis, but across the league, it's kind of changed, where you do have those leaders who publicly, the perception is they're pretty laid back. Obviously, we don't know what they're like behind the scenes. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, I feel like when we interview the players after the games, you guys know, like, it's the same canned answers, right? But what's really, truly happening behind the scenes, we just don't know, you know, how loud they are, how effective they are, how, you know, do they hold them accountable? And we can only assume that they do.
Jeremy Rutherford with us. Can we ask you to stick around? You got duties.
Yeah, no, I got a couple minutes here, and but as long as I can sneak my two-parter in here.
Oh, you better believe it. JR's going to ask us his two-parter.
Okay, first part is, do you guys, do you get...
I was going to take a break. Is that all right?
Oh, you got a break coming.
Yes. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I just want to make sure Jackson, are you cool with it?
You have a hard out at 9:20.
9:22ish.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, then we won't break. I apologize.
Plow through it, Tim. Just plow right through it. Ted Kalpa would do it at Nightline. Just keep going.
We'll plow. JR, what's our two-part question?
Well, two-parter, guys. When you sit down at the commode and you are doing your business,
gosh,
how
what happened to this journalist?
Do you get when you turn and look at the toilet paper and it's empty?
Oh, is this at home or somewhere publicly?
I don't go to your house, so it's at my house. Yeah.
Oh. Well, isn't that what shower curtains are for?
Oh, wow.
Well, you'd get very upset.
The roll's empty. Like, you got to walk the 20 feet to the...
So you have more in the house.
Yeah.
It's just not right there.
You should probably size up that situation before you go.
All right, and then the second part of this question is, when you know it's somebody else in your family that did this, do you send the text message with a picture of the empty toilet paper rack to them like I did today?
Doug is not a fan of
I don't do that, no.
You do that today?
You had to do that today?
I got so frustrated. This might be the 15th time this month I was so upset.
Really?
Can I ask?
You got a crisis going on.
Is it a kid?
It's a 45-year-old kid.
Called out his wife.
Wow.
Yeah, the wife
We
took
might
a hit.
need some counseling.
We opened the segment with Dillian Harpoon referencing JR's wife, and JR closes the segment by referencing his wife and the toilet paper crisis in Jefferson County. And now the sponsor of the segment, Mark Hanna, chiming in by writing, "This is what I'm sponsoring." So he's not happy. Might be a cancellation coming in now.
I would like to be a ghostwriter in response on behalf of Mrs. Rutherford, saying, if you didn't shove all those nachos in your mouth at the Blues game, you wouldn't be on the crapper all day.
Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. You got to scout before you sit.
Scout, I like that.
His
I like
fault,
Scout
not her
before
fault.
you sit.
Okay.
And if you're the person who runs out, and it's almost never where you would run out, and that would be like the last sheet you need, but always replace. If you're going to use, then replace. But you should also scout before you sit.
What about like if I rent a Target and you get one of those stands that holds about 5 rolls?
That's a great
Are
tool.
those still in vogue there?
Oh, yeah.
Because you got a lot of
little
time
plan.
to stare at it to notice it's going down. It's going kind of like your gas meter. It's going down. You got time. Wow. So
I think
Tim,
he'll work through this.
I think what we've learned is JR has a heart out unless he has potty talk.
Yeah, I noticed
then,
that.
then he can stick around.
And you've turned Sharon and Clayton off. She says, "That's it. I'm out." She's gone.
And we're late for the break, and I'm late for the pod.
There you go.
What an
JR's
ending.
got pod
I was like
responsibilities.
giving up a goal with 1.6 seconds.
JR, always appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, see you, boys.
Jerry
All right,
Rutherford,
thank
brought to
you,
you by
JR.
Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies here on TMA 101 ESPN. Doug, you wanted Hove. You got him.
There's a theme today.
Is there a theme, Jackson?
Not really.
That was the theme. Grab ass. Music grab ass.
Thinking about doing a deep cut Thursday tomorrow.
Ooh.
Nothing but deep cuts.
Like big name bands, but really random songs.
Yep.
I like that.
Doug, you like this one or not?
They all sound pretty much the same to me, this type of song.
I like this song. I got to find you that video of TMZ. God, I love that video. And they're on the streets of New York, and I've told that story, but somebody with their cell phone gets right in Jay-Z's face.
I bet he loved it.
And just turned with a mean mug look and said, "You know better." And you just see the person retreating. Probably soiled themselves. That's all he said was, "You know better." Because TMZ, all this footage they get sent, everybody's in everybody's face, and they just play ball, especially getting out at LAX. And, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, yeah, okay." And he just pushed them away verbally.
Well, most of them are set up in advance.
Is that right? Like they know they're coming?
People call it themselves.
That's the gig. Well, PR people do, yeah.
I saw Kevin Smith on TMZ last night. He didn't look at all the same. The filmmaker lost all that weight.
Yeah.
But he gave him like a 5-minute interview on a cell phone.
The people watching is pretty good at any airport. I bet it's spectacular at the LAX.
Problem is, Doug, you and I wouldn't recognize anybody.
No, I wouldn't nowadays. No.
What about at Lambert Regional?
Doug and I would be like, "Is that Burt Young?"
Kevin Smith always does the bad move of baseball cap with suit jacket.
You think that's a bad look?
Yeah.
Only if you just got drafted in the NFL, NBA, or NHL does that look
Quick
good.
thought, yeah.
Otherwise, you look kind of goofy.
Yeah.
It's like I'm here for business, but I have a backwards hat, so
Yeah.
I can have fun.
I'm still
That's
a
what
real
he said.
card.
Get out of here. I love Clerks. Don't get me wrong, but let's not do that.
All right, Jackson's going to Kevin Smith.
Unless you're covering up something on your head, I guess.
Yeah,
You don't have your hairpiece on.
yeah. Male power and baldness is real.
Why do we Blues fans not realize Kairu's value? We praise players like Sundqvist and Toropchenko. We have zero ability, but hate on a 30-plus goal scorer. Also, how does Booch seemingly avoid hate from 101 listeners? That's from the 314.
We brought that one up a bunch. He just he does escape widespread criticism, I would say.
It's certainly way more prominent here over the last month than it was last year, although that was percolating right before Four Nations. But yes, Kairu is the guy. I believe we were discussing with JR a couple weeks ago the chronological order of it in the last decade. I think Bouwmeester, Parayko, Kairu. Am I missing one? I feel like I might be missing one in there. Those would be the targets.
Yeah.
But now it's
usually somebody that you have really high expectations for. Still a really good player, but you wanted them to be better. I guess that's it. Kairu's had 31 or more goals 3 years in a row and still gets a lot of the heat. Yeah, I don't know why that. He's also durable. Hadn't missed a game in 3 years.
the reason is because we don't like figure skaters. And then there's profanity, but he put asterisks.
Oh, gosh.
From the
figure skaters. You like them when they score, don't you?
Fella. 636 call in 314-974-0101. Collier and Thompson phone lines. The Blues did win. We were just talking it over with JR. Here is Jim Montgomery on what he had to say in the final minutes of the third period before the Blues withstood the 6-on-5.
But most of it was just take a breath. Like, we've played a good hockey game. It's 3-2. Now let's be the way out. Let's talk to each other. Let's have composure and move forward here. Take over the rest of the whatever was left. I don't remember exactly what time it was, but I know the last 4.5 minutes were really good by us.
How about that, Doug? That surprises you.
I thought they were dominated the last 4 minutes. They could hardly get the puck out of their own zone the last 4 minutes. They barely won a face-off over the last 4 minutes.
You were at the Blues game.
Yeah, I kept thinking that they're too much in a defensive mindset, that they got to press up the ice a little bit, but they didn't. Well, he knows a hell of a lot more hockey than I ever will, so.
Back at it Friday. Rare Friday night game. It's almost always Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We got a Friday night. The Flyers here, Doug, a chance to win you over with that performance on Friday.
Okay.
They have won 3 of 5. Could have beat the Kraken. Would have been 4 of 5. They're building their game. That's what I keep hearing, Doug. They're building their game.
You know, I don't think people necessarily feel that way, though. That's the sense I get.
Right. I think that you're talking like the fan base,
the fan
people
base
watching
doesn't
the games.
feel that way. Because oftentimes, having been on this station now for 4 years, and a couple of them were some rough seasons, that just one win would change the mindset. Certainly, a stretch of quality play in comparison to the stretch beforehand would inspire that. And it's noticeable to me that both from the people who cover the team and then the fan base, that people just are not seeing it. And that stands out to me. Just from hosting a show and getting the pulse of people, with the however many texts that come in and in the YouTube chat as well. It's just people are not buying it.
Too many big names are not contributing. Even last night, Nathan Walker, that's awesome. He got a great goal. He determined in front. Matthew Kessel, that was a great moment for him. Second NHL goal. But again, where are the big names on a consistent basis? And I think that's still a concern. I think people are right to be skeptical. There was only 16 games played going into last night. You still had 66 to go. Tons of time. I had a pregame interview with Joey Vitale for Sports Final, and I said, having played in the league, what time of the season do you go, I don't know, it's just not happening? He said, not yet. Like, it's still way too early for that, even as a team that's kind of discouraged at their early season results. It's too early to sort of say, we're not turning it around. And I think he said yesterday in the morning, they were looking at it, said they're 5 points. As bad as it's been, they were 5 points out of a playoff spot with 66 games to go. The problem is, what you're pointing out, Doug, is I think that you just don't quite see. Just something doesn't feel like the mix, the chemistry, whatever it is, and it's largely the same group as last year. I mean, did Radek Foxa make that big a difference? I mean, it's almost entirely the same group. And Montgomery switched the lines a ton. They switched the pairings on defense. They're trying a lot of different things, but just I hope you're wrong, Doug, and I know you hope you're wrong. But you're right. It doesn't feel like they've turned the corner.
Well, if you're trying to find the silver lining, maybe it's that you got to figure that their best players will become their best players at some point. They're going to pick it up. Their history would tell you that this is not who Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou are, that they're going to start scoring goals, picking up a lot more assists, and when they do, they can right the ship.
Robert Thomas was injured, and then he didn't make that Four Nations, and I think it kind of pissed him off. Remember, and I think he talked about it on this show. He was disappointed, and then he went on a heater.
Yeah.
Holloway went on a heater. Everybody was kind of playing at the high level at the same time. Holloway did score last night. Monty in the pregame yesterday was saying that Holloway was starting to do everything right, so maybe he heats somebody, and we've said this even with the Cardinal team, you just need, can somebody get on a heater? And maybe that kind of leads the way for everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, where are those blues glasses? Jackson, did you try them on?
Maybe I need the blues
to make you feel like Alice in Wonderland, like you just dropped something? It really does.
Well, yeah. You got to figure that these guys are going to be better than they have so far. I mean, Thomas and Kyrou, they're not going to have 8 goals when the season's over at this point. I wouldn't think. But, yeah, they better hurry up and get to it because they're going to dig themselves such a hole that they may not be able to dig out of it.
The rare Friday night game provides the opportunity. Is a Friday night game at Enterprise Center as big of a pony as a Saturday night game?
And by pony, you mean...
Doug, are you new here? Come on.
You mean a big party going on at the game?
That's right.
I would think so. It's not a school night.
My wife asked me to go see The Notebook at, I don't know where it's being
Was this
performed.
a test?
Well, if it was, I either passed or failed immediately because the answer was no. So, so she's going with a friend on Friday. So that means I got the boys. And I thought, you know what? My 3-year-old, he just got out on skates for the first time this week. So 8-year-olds played. Maybe we go down there, go to the game. Only a 2-period game they're doing on Friday nights. It's kind of a thing that they do. And get some White Castles on the way home and just settle in. You go see The Notebook with your friend. That's fine.
Yeah.
You ladies will have a wonderful evening. I hate that I can't be there.
Yeah, sure you do.
And then me and the boys will go see some Blues Flyers, Pony, get some White Castles on the way home, and probably wash it down with some Blue Train. That's what I'm thinking.
Which White Castle would you stop at?
It's a great question.
Would you
So
go
many
down by
wonderful
Busch
options.
Stadium?
That's a nice one.
Yeah. You don't feel threatened standing in a long line to get your food or anything. You don't have to look behind you out the side view mirror.
I think I'd be at the one right across from the patron saint of the Peach Fuzz
Oh, would
mustache.
you drive almost all the way home,
Right.
and then pick up the castle.
Well, the burgers would be fresher.
Thank you, Jackson. That's exactly right.
You don't eat them in the car? You get those
No.
burgers, you eat them immediately. You don't wait till you get anywhere.
I don't like to eat and drive
Look at you.
because I often spill, and if I spill
You
something,
spill food?
yeah,
Really?
yep.
What dish do you spill, bro?
A burger would be.
You spill a burger. Doesn't
Well,
that even seem possible?
Parts of it are falling out of your mouth and into your lap.
It's more so when it's like a full size burger as opposed to a slider. The slider I think I could actually handle, but like a full size burger.
You wouldn't want lettuce or onions on there.
Well,
'cause
I
it's
like
coming
them
off.
right. I like them fully loaded,
Yeah.
so it's
Okay.
tough. But generally, I don't like to eat in the car. It's focus, you know.
Really?
Change my name to Jackson's Liquid Burger. Can I have that?
Liquid.
Yeah.
I don't want a liquid
I thought
burger.
those things were spilling out.
Tim, can I be your foster child on Friday? That's from Kurt's former coworker. Tim might be the greatest father to walk the face of the earth,
Oh wow.
despite his time spent creating Excel spreadsheets on Sundays. Some dem hogs.
Okay.
You and Michael Landon, right up there. I think what's important. I think what's important is that your son, that's obsessed with Mizzou, sort of move on to something else.
He has.
Oh, good.
yes.
Because of getting on the skates for the first time on Monday. And now he's been wearing a Blues sweater the last 2 days.
Oh, has he really?
So, yes, he's moved on. Now, Jackson is going down to Columbia on Saturday, right?
50-50.
Never get a straight answer out of this guy.
Yeah, I just don't have a plan in place yet.
You'd
Kicked it
like
around with
to,
some
but
folks.
nothing's firmed up. You would,
Right.
you would like it. You like the idea of going.
Sure.
I wonder if
Welcome to
some
Columbia.
hotels had some cancellations after that.
I would agree.
The
Texas
ticket
A&M
prices
was.
have plummeted.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Big time.
What can you get in the building for? Huh?
40.
Wow.
Think it'll be packed still?
Hell
Think-
no.
No.
You think
Not
people,
on a night game.
you don't think people that would otherwise not be able to get in, like this is their chance, want to go see a ball game?
Yeah, I mean, if you're someone who out there is less emotionally invested in the Tigers going to CFP, be a prime opportunity.
That A&M loss really kind of let the air out of the season.
Well, when you're not playing for a playoff spot anymore, it'll do that.
Not for you, though. You're going down.
Hoping to.
With 11 or 12 of your guy friends?
No. I'd be more excited if that was the
Is
case.
you and Milk dead?
Papers, I'll be there. Lot L. That's from Orson Woods Wacko.
Nice, yeah.
You going to go by Lot L?
If I go, yeah.
Nice.
If I go,
The Huntley of Missouri tailgating.
it's just a piece of cement, though, right? There's no like.
It's the people
Got it. Okay.
that make it the Huntley of tailgating.
But don't get there late. If you're trying to park, you got everybody standing. It's really awkward.
That is a scene.
And everybody's looking at you. You're out of line for trying to park in a parking lot. And it's just, oof.
Oh, during the tailgate.
Yeah, once it's begun,
right.
they do not.
Balls in the air. Let's
yeah,
not, yeah.
and then of course they're going to help you. They'll wave you maybe like an orange stick, and they'll say, "There's one in back over there," and there's 4,000
Yeah.
Mizzou maniacs
Just
with their
praying a kid doesn't run
Yetis.
out in front of you.
Yes. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be a lot. I can imagine.
Well, I think you should go.
So,
Got great weather in the forecast.
outstanding. 75 is the high on Saturday. No rain. Yeah, pretty great for November, especially considering where we've been at. I mean, Monday morning was as cold as I've ever felt.
With
in
the
November.
wind, well, Martin and I experienced it at the same time. Walking out of Faroe Field on Saturday night, that was unreal.
Yeah.
The wind. I mean, for entertainment's sake, had it started a few hours earlier, holy crap, what that game would have looked like.
Right. Ground and pound, I guess.
I mean, Bobby Boots might have kicked a 70-yarder.
Hey, if he was downwind, I can see that.
I wanted
He'd have
to
the leg.
As I was standing there recording these stand-ups, Doug, a lot of opportunity on Saturday to get some exposure in the market. I was thinking this would be the perfect Brian Burwell column. It was like, as the cold wind whipped across Faroe Field.
And minicams whirled.
We're worrying. Yes. And then you'd say the harsh reality hit the entire program. Like this, the slap of cold was sort of fitting.
Jackson, I have some Missouri tickets for you, brother. Holler at your boy, Mr. 63011. He has that fast golf cart he was driving around when we played Chris Nagel.
Oh. Email me, jburkett@insidestl.com.
There you go.
Email me.
With all of your free ducats.
Well, if this gentleman wants to email me, if he's serious, yeah.
Okay.
Send an email.
Well, that's nice.
Really nice.
The only difference between them Hogs and them Tigers is them Hogs waste no time suffering a season-ending defeat. They get it over with in early September. That's from them Hogs.
They did that.
They sure do. Well, the Arkansas basketball folks are high on.
There you go.
As they should be.
Email in. Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Coming your way at about, I would say an hour from now. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Doug, can you tell us about Design Air?
Well, Design Air, that's the people you call if you have any kind of problem with your furnace or your air conditioner. Probably not going to turn on the air conditioner again this season, maybe this weekend if it gets up around 80, and they're talking about it might. But right now we're focused on furnaces.
Doug, lock in.
Design Air is going to lock in and get your unit ready to go. Whether you just need routine maintenance, that's what most people need, or a whole new unit, Design Air is there to help you bring the heat. Proudly serving the area since 1904. It's over a century of keeping homes comfortable and customers happy. Not just another HVAC company. They also happen to be the longest running sponsor on TMA, and that loyalty says a lot. At the helm, Seth Goldkamp, fourth generation family member owning the business. Design Air is a name you can trust. They believe in honest work. You're never going to be sold something you don't need. So whether you're dealing with the St. Louis cold or the summer heat, they have got your back with dependable service and no pressure solutions. Visit designairservice.com. Schedule your service today. It's what I do every year. They get great technicians to come out and take care of you. Design Air, comfort you can count on since 1904, and perhaps most importantly, home of the handsome repairman. Ask for the dashing Steve or the bold and daring Adam.
DesignAirService.com. Get that furnace tuned up. This is TMA 101 ESPN. Missouri, get ready. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, is coming soon. And starting December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to home runs to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Plus, with live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started, all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. FanDuel is the best way to game day, and it's coming to Missouri. Just visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. Jackson, do you have a play for the people?
Thursday night game, I know we've talked about those, can be sometimes. I'm not going to get fooled again. I like the under of 43.5 in that Jets-Patriots game.
All right.
Let's
Jackson's
go under.
just released a play. This way, you'll be able to be set when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game with FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts on December 1st, 2025. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The New York Knicks defeat the Grizzlies last night, 133-120. Jalen Brunson with a nice 32-point 10-assist effort. That was another Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Sickest Ween Wednesday to date.
I would say so, yeah. As sick as it gets. Any sicker and we'd be in hospice.
Like that. It's TMA 101 ESPN shows presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies, 9 o'clock hour. Doug, I know you're excited for the possible Missouri Bowl, but what about Missouri State?
Where are they going?
Jackson's got what you describe as a strong message from Missouri State head coach Ryan Beard, who wants to go to a bowl game. What do we got going on here?
Well, because they just made the jump to the FBS, I should have had more information on this.
Well, it's more stuff for your ears.
They were trying to become bowl eligible because I think teams in the first year of their FBS aren't bowl eligible, much like teams that make the jump to D1 aren't eligible to make the NCAA tournament. He finds that to be a crazy notion, and this is his message. Sorry, I'm trying to get this open here to the fans.
I think all policies and structure of anything in regards to college football should be around the student athlete. I think everything that we do should be about giving them as many opportunities to compete as possible, as many opportunities to get their brand out on national television, to better themselves in the eyes of the National Football League. How do you know in a bowl game there's not a kid that performs out of his mind and all of a sudden he gets picked up on a roster, makes a practice squad, creates generational wealth for his family? The last time I checked, that's why we're in this business. That's why I'm called a coach. That's why you cover them for media. That's why we all have jobs. So I think every single decision we make should be about our student athletes, should be about the young men in that locker room gutting it out and putting themselves in harm's way to get an extra game. I think if we lose sight of that, shame on us. Shame on us for the ones that got into the game for the right reason. And I think in the modern day era of college football, I don't know if it really makes sense to build a transition period to where there are no rules that give it a competitive advantage. If you want to see a competitive disadvantage, come see some of the things we got going on here at Missouri State. And our players are doing what they're doing despite that, despite those shortcomings of foundational pieces that we need desperately. And they're still 6-3 with 3 games to play, right in the middle of the Conference USA hunt. If you want a good football game and you want guys that love to compete and love to play football and represent what college football is truly about, put the Missouri State Bears in a bowl game.
What about that? That's an impassioned plea. He's impressive.
So they started a petition to waive that first-year ban from a bowl game. Yeah.
It is kind of arbitrary.
What the reason
Like, it's just arbitrary. Like what?
And nobody in 2025, I mean, not nobody, but at this point, people have kind of wised up to the scam that is the bowl game, you know? So, like, who cares if they get to go to a bowl game? They want to go to a bowl game? I'm sure their fan base would be more excited about it than, like, 98% of the fan bases that go to these.
Gives them something to play for.
You got some schools saying we don't want to go.
Right.
They're begging to go. Ryan Beard's only 36. It's Bobby Petrino's son-in-law. I'd buy stock in this guy. I like that answer. When you're talking about the bowl game and how it could affect one kid's future.
If the players have it so bad, why didn't they go to a better school?
Oh, God.
Jim Mahomes, long body.
Gosh.
Wow.
It's a nuanced take. Yeah.
Jackson, you're getting support for playing that. This gentleman had written in, can we talk about Missouri State's football season for a second? That's from too poor to send my kid to Mizzou. And then you played it, and he said, thank you, guys.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, no, it's weird that they have the rule. Now, there is a way if fewer than 82 teams reach bowl eligibility, then the NCAA can pull transitioning programs into the bowl pool to fill open slots. 59 teams have already reached 6 wins. So
And they need how many?
And 19 instead of 5. 82. Fewer than 82 could pull most state bears, and hopefully this petition goes because I guess I don't even know what the rule, why it makes sense in basketball. I don't think it does, but ask people in London, like it's hard to get that transition over to FBS. It's hard to bump up divisions. It takes a lot of money, a lot of manpower to get that going. So Missouri State did everything they were supposed to do, and now the NCAA is like, yep, sorry, great season, but can't get you into a bowl.
They've won a lot of very close games. They have wins at 21-20, 22-20, 24-17 in overtime, 21-17. Played USC, lost 73-13.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
If they were going to beat SMU, Tim and I were going to be handsomely rewarded.
Yeah, I felt terribly. That was in the TMA group chat, too. As if Doug and Martin are going to fire a bet.
Yeah.
God, I wasn't even, drinking.
I was. So I
That's why you took the bait.
I swear to you, I'm watching Missouri State play SMU. And again, what am I doing with myself? But I was watching it, and I'm like, oh, my God. SMU just, clearly is not paying any attention to this game. And Missouri State, this is the biggest moment in their football program's history to have a team that was in the college football playoff down in Springfield, and they were just outplaying the hell out of them. And in the second half, SMU's like, okay, I guess we got to do some stuff.
Batten down the
hatches. And then a month later, they beat Miami, who beat Notre Dame, who, with a couple of wins, goes to the college football playoff, barring a big surprise. Jackson, Notre Dame has to lay 12.5 at Pitt for the game that Pat Narduzzi of Pittsburgh says he's fine with losing 110-10. What would you do? Would you lay the 12.5, or would you take the 12.5 in Tony Dorsett's Panthers?
Oh, man. Double digit on the road. I think I would take Pitt in the points. I think Notre Dame probably wins, but it's probably a touchdown that separates them. So I probably would ride with the Panthers. Mm-hmm. But it's tough to handicap Notre Dame this year because at some points they look like they have absolutely nothing defensively, and then some games they play out of their minds. And then offensively, they're also kind of touch and go. That Boston College game was really, I didn't know they had that kind of performance in them. So maybe. But I'd take Pitt in the points.
College game day there this weekend. Tell that coach to pound sand. Conference USA, who is in that? I remember an average USC team gave it to Missouri State better than Herb gave it to Papers in the windowsill. Go away, Southwest Missouri State.
No.
That's from Morrison Woods Wack. He wants them to go away?
That's not kind.
Yeah, that's not good.
So they have to go away?
Like just stop chirping?
Or move to Tennessee or Arkansas?
That's a coach that I want coaching my kid, my team.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed the clip. Thank you for playing at Papers.
This is a Mizzou show. Nobody wants to hear about those sorry-ass Bears. That's Nathan from DeVille, and now Missouri State is not welcomed on the program, apparently. I didn't know this.
They really do get next to no attention in St. Louis.
Yeah, let's spend more time on Mizzou losing every big game. Let's do that.
Okay, that didn't seem necessary there.
That's for the nationalists that are pretending to be mainstream texters, okay?
Jackson, did you talk about the new nationalists that you hate on the air?
Yeah, I'm going to keep that one to myself.
Oh, that was not on the air.
Is that off the air? Oh,
I don't remember what's on the air or off the air.
Yeah.
And that can be problematic.
But I'm pretty sure he's in the YouTube chat.
Really?
Yeah. It was brought to my attention.
Let me go do some searching.
Yeah.
Block him.
He's in there right now.
I would never block him.
Block him.
I just like
I just looked up
keep
and
my
I saw
eyeballs on it.
All right, get involved. 314-399-9646. That's how you can text in to the program. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com, or you can call in 314-974-0101, Collier and Thompson phone lines, and always go back and podcast the program via the Schaefer Door Company podcast app. Schaefer Door has been to Doug's house to save the day a couple of times. Jason Gosser's team's been out there. Jason's sent his team to my home today in the past as well with a door issue. It's Schaefer Door. SCHAEFER door.com. SCHAEFER door.com. Call or text 636-782-3608. It's going to give you the quickest response time. They service all kinds of garage doors for service and new installations. They have Monday morning standby service for the doors that break over the weekend. They service commercial doors as well. So if you run a business or warehouse with big, tall doors, Schaefer is experienced in these types of jobs. Go to SchaeferDoor.com or call or text 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door, a CHI overhead door dealer. You can always podcast via the Schaefer Door Company. Who is this nationalist and why is her chirping? That's what it says in Michelob Ultra.
I went in there. I didn't see the person.
I think it's a nom de plume.
Oh, okay.
As you know, there's Hoosier Trojan horses. Is that what you call them?
Well, those do exist. It'd be tough on the YouTube chat for that to happen.
I know, but it was brought to my attention.
All right,
because I guess this person was unhappy with the information that I provided by looking up the records against winning SEC teams, and then it was brought to my attention. I don't know. I didn't know Pine. I just did a effing spreadsheet. I guess it upset people.
Public statistics. These are statistics that. Anyway,
and I want Eli Drinkwitz to stay.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of.
Hell, I don't know anymore, Doug. Doesn't matter. You can email in on why it doesn't matter. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. The program's called TMA 101 ESPN. Way to save some money here for TMA listeners. Buy a TMA listener. Had a chance to meet with Atlas just a couple of weeks ago here at the 101 ESPN studios, and this is an opportunity to save some money. As your car's warranty expired or about to expire, when cars break, it's always a surprise. Fixing cars is not something that most people can do in their backyard anymore. Dealership labor rates average nearly $200 an hour. The average repair costs over $1,500, while major repairs can run $3,000 to $5,000. With Atlas coverage, you simply hand over your ID card, not a blank check. Atlas is your roadmap to vehicle protection. You can learn more at atlasvehiclepro.com. That's atlasvehiclepro.com. And if you mention that you're a TMA listener, you get $400 off your quote. That's $400 off your quote. 314-720-5990. 314-720-5990. Or you can learn more at atlasvehiclepro.com.
all night.
Is that the liquor stick right there?
Let's go.
I think there's a muted
Blues,
trumpet.
Go for the gold. For that cup, I'd sell my soul. Nothing better than playoff time. In the NHL, you got to be primed. Come on, boys. Keep your head on a swivel. Heading for the top, not the middle. People might think I'm crazy, but if we just get hot, we can win this baby. We can win this baby. Skate boys. Oh yeah, the Blues are marching in. Get to them playoffs, boys, just win. We don't care about the first round pick. If you keep these boys together, they're gonna be sick. Colton, Cairo, and the old vet Fowler, neighbors Booch. Come on now, holler. We've been hit hard, but those wounds have calloused. Come mid-June, we could be hoisting that chalice. Oh, we gonna be on there twice.
It's TMA 101 ESPN.
I love AI music. Does that make me a bad person?
Well, I mean, I enjoy the tune, but Jackson experiences pushback when he plays these songs from ne'er-do-wells.
No, I think people's hearts are in the right place. I think in some circumstances they would be accurate. This one, the goofy little return song for a program, I would not say is super hurtful. Differences, though, when it starts replacing people and their work. That's where it changes.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
That's from John Scores. But John Scores also says in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, has anyone mentioned that the Dome opened 30 years ago today, Doug? 30 years ago today, the St. Louis Rams hosted the Carolina Panthers, and people walked into the building and said, I can't believe this building.
Yeah. First time I walked in, I said, oh. I was
Doug Vaughn's review on Sports Sunday that night.
I was just kind of expecting to be blown away, and it was, oh, okay. We'll try to make this work.
And we did for 21 years.
Yeah. I don't know what the problem was, if the architects had a bad day or what, but they sure didn't design one with that was very pleasing to the eye or anything that the public really embraced. Although when the team was good, it was packed.
It was.
Didn't matter what the stadium was like then.
That's correct.
You go there now, and it's kind of depressing, isn't it?
Well, when I took my son, who at the time I guess was 5, to Missouri and Memphis a couple years ago, I couldn't help but feel some semblance of depression.
Mm-hmm. What did you think when you first saw the new Busch Stadium, 2006? Were you blown away by that?
I was not blown away by it, but there is a difference with that for me. Can't speak for everybody, and of course you have to be, I don't know, I guess at least 30 years old to have a good recollection of Busch Stadium 2. Jackson, I mean, you would kind of be in that border. Do you remember Busch Stadium 2, going to games? I mean,
very,
well enough.
very
That's
limited.
What I'm saying. So
very
you got to basically be about 30 years old. I think whatever ballpark you grew up going to is always your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I'm comparing and contrasting it, and that's not fair. With the Dome, really didn't have anything to compare it to. I mean, yeah, you had Busch Stadium, but the Cardinals hadn't played there for 7 years by the time the Rams got here, and that was never like a football-specific stadium. It was one of those Three Rivers vet Riverfront Stadium deals. But yeah, I mean, you and I were fortunate enough to travel to, I guess, probably all the NFL stadiums during that time period because we would go on the road with the Rams. And it did not play well when I would say, I think we have the second or third worst stadium in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's new.
But I mean, I had to tell you, I stand by said opinion.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of obvious now, but maybe, you know. But yeah, I said this in 2001, 2, and 3. Now it's 2025, and it's even more obvious.
Those were exciting days when the Rams first got here. Played those first few games at Busch Stadium. They They were winning. They got off to a hot start.
Yes.
People
They beat the Bears, the Saints. And
I think Packers. I think they won the first game.
Packers was up in Lambeau.
Yeah, in Green Bay for the first game ever.
And then Todd Kinchin punched the uprights at Busch Stadium.
Well, the base of the goalpost, yeah. I don't think he could reach the uprights, but he did hit the post.
He was pretty tall.
Yeah.
Do some show prep.
On third down, let's help our Rams by making some noise!
We didn't need that. We'd seen football before.
I can hear you. Ram Rule 4. He goes down and get it, in trouble, sack. Every time we get to the quarterback, I want to hear you yell, sack!
We're not doing that.
Sack!
We're not doing it.
Ram Rule 5.
Stop it, Granny.
Leading up to every kickoff, let's slow clap it out.
We're definitely not doing that. Can you imagine a stadium doing that? Oh, and this was not parody. We were told to do this.
I remember sitting at that game. I believe it was the opener against the Eagles, September 11th, 2011. Am I right on that? Steven Jackson broke free, but then he hurt himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you. And that is when the Rams rules aired. We played it the next morning on this program, and it made its way to Deadspin with the attention from our Twitter account, and it became a national phenomenon with people thinking it was a joke.
Yeah. Nope.
But it was later revealed by sources that Rams COO, and according to Charlie Marlowe, who was on the program last Friday, professional liar, Kevin Demoff was responsible for that production.
That could have been the first sign that they wanted to run all their fans out of the building and move. That could have been the first sign. Look what they're doing to us. They don't want us to show up.
The expectation that someone like a sack would happen and everyone in the crowd would yell sack,
as opposed to cheering.
No one's ever done that in the history of football.
It's not a thing.
No.
It's not a thing at all.
It's like what you would say if you've never watched a football game.
Right.
You just saw some terminology, said, I know what we can do.
And maybe if everyone did that and it was organic, it'd actually be kind of cool. It'd be like St. Louis's thing where we yell sack. Like,
sack.
It's organic when Lou Brock get announced anywhere. Everyone would yell woo, or Isaac Bruce. Like, that's organic. No one told you to do that.
Right.
But if they tell you say sack after a sack, which is ridiculous.
Didn't some Mizzou people spoof it with some Mizzou rules a couple years ago?
I don't know. I seem to remember something about that.
Who in the hell designed that dome? And he sure as hell better not be designing anything else anymore. That's from Sharon and Clayton. Now, Beer Cat says the dome was designed in the late 80s, so it was 7 or 8 years old when it was built.
It was HOK, wasn't it? It was designed all kinds of great stadiums all over the country. They saved their worst for us. Everything that didn't work on these other stadiums, we got it.
Yeah, it was like, okay, I'm taking my son to his first Missouri game. It's in St. Louis. We're going to the Dome. And I couldn't help but think at moments like, God, one of the greatest teams in NFL history played on this field in this building. And I couldn't shake that while I was there.
Yeah.
And then to look at it, it's just so...
What do you do with the place now? What in the world do you do with it now?
Like a Spirit Halloween?
Ooh. Well,
bi-monthly truck rallies.
Oh, mud bogs. I don't know. And the Battlehawks aren't going to be around, but for another year or more, or a few.
Whoa!
I would think that league's not going to make it. Then what? What do you do with the place?
TMA studio.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, you can't just level it, can you?
Luckily, probably not.
Awfully expensive to keep it going.
Yeah.
And not allow it to fall in just complete disrepair.
Well, what if we just chop the top? Well, if we peel back the dome?
I threatened to get my circular saw up there on the roof and cut a hole in it.
We'll chop the top.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll attract a new team.
Retractable roof would be great.
Guys, Vince Shamel told HOK, you know what this dome needs? More concrete and less light. That's from Dale in Grubville. Is that right?
I guess.
And dark light bulbs.
It looks pretty good from the outside.
Right.
They spent all the money on the brick on the outside.
Like mustard-colored light bulbs. Let's get some brightness up in here.
Beer Cats is right about that 1980s design before the stadium was built. That's from Boozy.
And the upper deck, you're so far away from the action.
So far.
Instead of the upper deck hanging slightly over the lower deck, it just keeps going back. So if you're in the upper deck in the corner, you're about a half mile from the field itself.
So far. It was so far.
Yeah. You couldn't really tell who was who. It was so far up there.
Yeah.
Did you see the Missouri governor was floating around the idea of if they renovate Arrowhead, going retractable roof?
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like a retractable roof.
Jackson's mad in a horn.
My thoughts are out there.
You only use it when you need it.
Jackson does not want to comment. His thoughts are out there.
Yeah,
if it's 10 degrees for some playoff game, you wouldn't like to close that roof and warm it up a little bit?
Boy, I bet you have to remember that Miami Dolphins game that was only on Peacock when it was frozen outside, and that was brutal. Yeah, in those cases, I guess.
I mean, Armageddon at Arrowhead was frozen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
But isn't that part of the charm?
No, I'm not charmed at all by freezing, miserable weather. I don't mind it sitting at home watching TV, but if I have to go, no, I'm not. That's not charming at all.
Doug Vaughn's oil boy in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat says they should create a bird sanctuary inside the dome. You have a condor flying around?
Like at the zoo?
That.
Yeah.
It
Bird
could come
cage?
to that.
Wouldn't be bad. Some sort of interactive exhibit.
Someone is going to have to make a really tough decision at some point in time about what to do with that place. Do you level it, try to build another one? Do you try to throw good money after bad and improve the place? Do you even bother to do that if you don't have a team? I don't know what their answer is. I have no idea what I would do with that place.
Well, this is a beautiful tribute to the 30th birthday of the dome.
Yeah.
Then don't go, Doug. It's not like you're going to Kansas City for games all that often anyway.
Well, I don't go because nothing happens there. It'd be kind of weird to be going to the Dome now.
No, I think he's talking about Arrowhead. I think. I don't know. That's from Peter Goes In You. Maybe you guys can take that offline.
Am I the only one who doesn't like lousy weather? It's just me.
Jackson's anti-retractable roof. He does not. He wants you to know his thoughts are out there. He is not.
Yeah,
engaging.
it just looks bad. Always does.
See, most of the football season is played in great weather.
Yep.
September, October, November, the weather's not even a factor for most games. And then you try to determine a championship or the playoffs, and you're playing in conditions that they haven't seen all year.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Get tough. Let's pick ourselves up by the bootstraps, and we'll play when it's a little bit cold out. There might be some snow on the ground. It's more enjoyable for the viewer. Is there anything better? Like, oh, my God, it's a snow game. I think it was last year. Jameis Winston put on a show on Thursday night in a snow game. It was incredible. It was like it was in a snow globe.
Some of those snow games, they can't do anything. They can't throw. They just kind of slide around the field. And
tell that to Shady McCoy, who would just go crazy when there was snow on the ground.
Don't say Shady.
Tell it to him.
Tell LaShawn.
I'm not going to tell him anything.
Doug's right. The UFL's toast. I didn't renew my season tickets. If I want to watch bad football, just keep going to Mizzou games. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko, who is defeated after Sam Horn's injury.
Yeah.
You go, Doug. I'm with you. Another grumpy guy. That's Stavros 516.
I get the appeal around it. I just don't like it.
The retractable roof.
Right.
Guys, how about starting football at St. Louis University and have them play at the Dome? How about that?
It's a good idea.
All right. Get that done.
Mm-hmm. I think the reason they don't is because of one of the reasons, one of many reasons probably is Title IX. Mm-hmm. If you take on, how many scholarships does a football team get? 80, 90?
Yeah.
You got to come up with that many scholarships for women's sports, too.
Right. It's really expensive to have a D1 college football program. That's why there's so many who have D1 college basketball but not football.
You'd have to add a whole bunch more sports.
Yeah.
Just to satisfy the Title IX regulations.
Very expensive.
Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, which is coming your way at approximately 10:45 on the program. And you are welcome to compete because it's starting in January. Seth Goldcamp and Design Air Heating and Cooling are giving away a $10,000 HVAC system and installing it for the winner of the January Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the month here on the program. So this is your spring training. Find out what gets you through the filtered file the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Find out what gets you votes the morning after at InsideSTL.com. James Carlton has my vote. He's been my insurance agent for 6 years. He provides great customer service. Has your insurance gone up in the last year? Give James and his team at CarltonInsurance.net a chance to save you money. Do you have kids under 25 on your insurance policy? This is where James saves people the most money. Call 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If you Google James Carlton, you're going to see 450 plus 5-star reviews for James and his team at carltoninsurance.net. That's James Carlton at the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net. This is TMA 101 ESPN. Hey, this is Tim McKernan. We are deep into fall now, and if you've been putting off those home improvement projects, this is your reminder. The cold weather is on the way, and one of the smartest upgrades you can make, replacing those old, drafty windows before winter hits. Universal Windows Direct is making it easier than ever to do just that. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free with no limit. That alone is a great deal, but it gets even better. You'll also get 36 months of 0% financing with equal monthly payments, same as cash, and a $1,000 bonus off your project. And Universal Windows Direct just does deliver great home products. They make the whole process easy as well. From your free in-home estimate to professional installation, you are in great hands. So don't wait until it's freezing out and your furnace is running overtime. Lock in your savings and upgrade your home today. Call 314-334-2522 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate. Buy 2, get 2 free. Energy savings, comfort, and serious value. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows. Is this 90?
I don't know the years, Tim.
I want to say 96 to get me 97 and 95, and I'll tell you my reasoning because I know 98's not live.
Okay.
You didn't even need the 2 on the side. It's 1996.
Yeah, Mark Morrison. He's going to be a surprise guest coming up. It'll be fun. Him and Robert Wool.
Oh, it'd be great to get Wool on. The Batman? You kidding me?
So this guy got cucked? That's what this is about?
Kind of seems like it, right?
Yeah. But like now he's back. He's off the Davenport.
Ball up top.
Return to the Mac, parentheses, off the Davenport.
Right.
We can make our own little remix.
Doug, do you remember in 97 when my buddy requested this at Fieldhouse? After I had broken up with my girlfriend, and he dedicated it to me because I was back in the game.
Oh, we did. Yeah, I remember that.
Return of the Mac.
I was back here in St. Louis.
But you would hang out.
I heard about it, of course. Yeah.
They were talking about it up in Columbia last weekend. I heard people talking about that.
I think it might have been the 28th anniversary. They were doing something special for it.
And you were back.
Absolutely.
And did anything happen for you that night that you were back?
I probably pleasured myself.
Oh.
It's great. You ask questions, and I give the answers, and you get irritated.
Seriously.
If you don't like the answer, don't ask the question.
Oh.
Doug, the current leadership didn't even know to put $500 million in an interest-bearing account. Do you think they'll have any solution for that dome? It's just going to sit there like an eyesore for the rest of my live-long life at Steve in Wildwood.
I think that may be true.
He must not have heard the bird sanctuary idea.
That's got legs or wings.
You're going to have birds flying around in there?
Sure.
And you think you're going to
Guaranteed
get
I won't be
60,000 people to sit in the stands and watch that?
They wouldn't be in the stands. You'd walk on the field. The birds would come to you.
What are we going to do with all the seats?
Bird feeders.
Right.
Who's going to clean up the mess?
Oh, you could, I don't know, people. What do you mean who's got to clean up the mess?
There'll be a
Who
big
cleans up the
mess.
mess anywhere?
But not everywhere has birds flying
Bird
around.
keepers. We'll have bird keepers.
Bird keepers. Didn't you hear the man?
We
Gosh.
could put some big boys in there. California condors. Yeah, they are scary.
Hey, whatever happened with that St. Louis NFL stadium? It's a bird sanctuary.
Yeah, it's a very apocalyptic, but I think it would work.
Doug, people are going to call in with their suggestions on what to do with the dome as it celebrates its 30th birthday today.
Okay.
And you were saying, here is the move. Call in the Callier and Thompson phone lines. Callier and Thompson.
I bet Callier and Thompson could whip that dome into shape. Boy, they'd make it look like $1 million. You want to get your dome or maybe your house spruced up? It'll make you feel better if you do it. Callier and Thompson right there to take care of it. They've been doing it in St. Louis since the 1950s. Their employees now have more than 165 years of experience. Bob Strati and Carolyn Beard are the owners. They've both been there for more than 20 years. They just have a solution for any kind of problem that your house can throw at them. You need a new kitchen, you need a new bathroom, you want to finish the basement, a rec room, a man cave, whatever. Callier and Thompson has done it all, and they do it better than anyone in town. It's hard to know who you can trust to be in your home, who's going to be there to back up the work. Callier and Thompson stands behind every job that they do, and during the process, they are always available for you. Let's go to a review, should we? Here's one from Shirley C. Oh, Cheryl. She says, Callier and Thompson helped design a new kitchen, finished the project on time and within budget, took care of everything professionally, and they are still helping on minor things after completion. That's the way they do it at Callier and Thompson. You need a little bit of an adjustment there when they're done. They'll be happy to come out. They want you to be happy with the job because that's what they stand for. They've also got their own separate paint department. So you're got some painting you need done, don't really want to do it yourself, not sure how to do it, call Callier and Thompson. They'll get out there and they'll do a professional job, and you'll say, ooh, I made the right decision there too. Callier and Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Come home to quality online at CallierandThompson.com.
There it is. Callier and Thompson, sponsor of the phone lines. James Carlton was emailing me, and he thought that after listening to Eli Drinkwitz last night on Tiger Talk, that is a man who is staying in Columbia, Missouri. Jackson, you have an excerpt from Tiger Talk last night. I know it's Martin's favorite program, but Martin's at onboarding. What do we have here?
So I got 2 clips from Tiger Talk. One Drink talks about the progress the program has made since pretty much his start. And the other one, which is getting a lot of attention, I would say locally, is his CFP or bust mentality for college fans. So let's do the process one first, and then we can do the other one.
Been a lot of different takes out there over the last 2 years. We hadn't been able to beat some of these teams. You know, the one thing I'll just remind everybody, to go from good to great, that's the hardest challenge. To make that next 6-inch jump, man, that's the toughest challenge there is. And so for us, we got to find those margins. As a coaching staff, as players, we got to go continue to, hey, how do we make that next jump? And part of that next jump, we made a jump a couple years ago when we built this new indoor to match. We're the furthest north playing school in the SEC. We didn't have an indoor. So we got that. And now the university has said, you know what? We need to match what everybody else is doing facility-wise, so we're going to build you a $250 million north end zone. So we're doing the things that we need to do. Now we've got to continue to, hey, how do we maximize rev share? How do we maximize third party? How do we get a roster that is equivalent to the rest of those rosters in the SEC? And we're pushing like crazy to do it. So what I want to encourage everybody is, instead of getting negative about it, instead of pointing fingers and blaming, again, I'll take all the blame. That's my job as the head coach. But what we need to do is all push and find, hey, how do we go good to great? And let's not throw out the baby for the bathwater. Let's not get discouraged.
Okay. Yeah, that's not what you'd say if you're on your way out the door, I don't think.
Certainly had energy. It's a different sound than his press conference.
Much different.
Did you listen to that?
Yes, I listened to both, and the energy and vibe in Tiger Talk was one of an impassioned man, whereas the press conference was more...
Staid.
Yeah, that's a.
You like that? You like that adjective?
I guess
S-T-A-I-D.
Because I was going to say professional. I'm not saying he was unprofessional in Tiger Talk, but he was a little bit more willing to let things go. You know, be a little bit more candid, I would say.
I don't know what the big deal is about having an indoor practice facility. They've had one of those for years. For years, they've had a place to practice.
Garbage. This thing was a major upgrade.
But how is that going to help with play calling and recruiting better players?
Jackson's about to jump across this dais and fight you. It's going to get ugly in here.
Retractable roof man, and they want to improve so they're not cold. And you're like,
But now we're talking about practice.
Like, what are we talking about?
They've had an indoor practice facility for years.
We're talking about practice?
Yeah, we're talking about practice.
Yeah. Not a game. Practice.
Yeah. I'll buy everything else, but I won't buy the fact that now that we got an indoor practice facility, we can be better. They've had it. They've had it for a long time.
I think you're just listing some of the improvements that have been made at the University of Missouri since his tenure began.
What was the other one, Papers?
This one, I think, has social media buzzing. His take on college football fans' mentality going into a season.
I live under a rock. I'm completely oblivious to this.
Really?
What is the social media buzzing about?
His statement. Listen to the clip and see what you...
Did he just tell me what to do? Did you hear that?
Sure did. Didn't sound very staid.
I want him to speak for himself.
Didn't sound very staid.
No, I didn't. I'm on Tiger Talk.
I talked about this in the SEC media days, okay? We got to get out of this. Oh, man, it's playoffs or bust. Yes, again, we're shooting for the moon. We're going to put our whole self into that. But only 12 teams make the playoffs, and we put ourselves in position in November to be there, okay? Didn't get it done. I got that. But if the season only counts for 12 football teams, and we got 127 Division I playing football teams, that math's not going to math very well. That math's not going to math very well, okay? Football is more than just the playoff potential. And, again, we were there. We were there. We didn't get it done. But, you know, there's a whole heck of a lot to be proud of. There's a whole heck of a lot to play for. Again, when I took over, we didn't go to a bowl game. We had NCAA probation. All right, and ever since then, we've been going to a bowl game. And, you know, there's a lot of programs right now that would trade us spots. I had a coach text me today. Said, Coach, there's a lot of programs in the country that would trade for the number of wins your team has. And that's a perspective that most people don't have.
Right,
so,
absolutely.
You know, just keep on fighting, keep on believing, and we're going to get ourselves back there. We're going to bust through. Didn't happen so far, but you know what? Don't discourage me any.
Okay.
So why is there buzz and where is it coming from?
Twitter. Why is it coming? I think some fans.
And this is from the comments last night on Tiger Talk?
Mm-hmm. From that clip, exactly. Just kind of.
How many people were aware of Tiger Talk? That just surprises me.
Someone tweeted, I think actually our guy, Joey Van Zimmerman, tweeted out the quote itself.
Go look up that Joey Van Zimmerman and see what happened.
I think people are just like, given the timing, after your third loss, and fans are obviously frustrated when they see that, less so here, I want to mention, see that quote, they're like, oh, Mr. Excuse, like, hey, it could be worse. That's maybe not what people are looking for. I think you can rationalize one way or another because what he said makes sense, makes total sense. But at the same time, it's like, but people want more, you know?
Yeah, especially when half of your wins this year came against teams that had no chance at all to beat you. Central Arkansas, Louisiana, UMass. Those are 3 of your 6 wins.
Right.
Worse was Wacko not happy with what he just heard. Try spinning that garbage in Happy Valley until you win a big game. Don't even talk. That's from the
Don't even
Wacko.
talk.
Sounds like a guy who choked once again and didn't make the top 12. That's from Raider J. Okay, well, now I see the reaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Saw that and figured that the reaction would come.
Small program mentality. Drink is perfect for Mizzou. That's from Tervis Parrish.
Oh. Yeah, he's got to stop mentioning the bowl eligible thing, because as we've gone through many a time, when you're scheduling at least 3, I'll be nice and say crumb bums.
Crumb bums?
Oh.
Crumb bums?
You're already halfway there.
Yeah.
Now, getting 3 SEC wins is no small challenge, or the non-con win, but perspective.
I guess their best game of the season would be the loss to Alabama, right? The 3-point loss to Alabama. That's more impressive than anything else they've done all year.
It's funny that you say that, because my position is that the most impressive game Missouri has played in Drinkwitz's era is the loss at Athens. And then that's not a shot.
I'm just talking this year.
No, I get that. But you taking that line is similar because I thought Missouri, they didn't outplay Georgia, but I think Georgia in 2023 flies under the radar relative to how good they were, because they wound up losing in the SEC championship and didn't get into the playoff. You never know what happens, but I think if you had the 12-team playoff, that was last year with only the 4-team, I think that team beats Michigan. Of course, it's hypothetical. You can say whatever. But that was a great team, and Missouri hung with them in the trenches. That was super impressive. I actually think the game that they dominated the most against a quality opponent was Vanderbilt, but that probably is the most frustrating game. I mean, they dominated that game. I didn't walk out of the Alabama game going, man, they should have won that game. I felt like they were dominated and fortunate from a scoreboard standpoint that they only lost by 3. But it's not like I disregard where you're coming from.
They came in that last pass.
Sure, and Speedy Keese was
pass.
open.
Yeah, they win that game. It's a holy smokes. You just beat Alabama.
Dat Zulu says, yeah, Drink should definitely listen to Pale's advice on literally anything.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
This is a tough time to be a St. Louis sports fan, because all of the angry contrarian ass bags have had several weeks of opportunity to bitch about literally everything. And we all just have to sit here and listen to it, especially these Oakvilles worked up about the Blues. These Oakvilles.
Well, they are worked up about the Blues. And now they're worked up about the Tigers.
But the Blues won last night.
Yeah, they're still worked up.
Win a big game first, then brag. That's from the mayor of Melville.
Mm-hmm. I will say that there's you can have 2 thoughts in your mind. It's a lot better than it was, because if you remember in 21 or 22, you turn on a Mizzou game against Tennessee and you're in the second quarter and they're down 24-0. And you just know you have no chance, and the rest of the season is going to be lame. And there's also okay, the median has been raised significantly, but the ceiling is still too low relative to everything that's going on. Drink making a lot of money, to me, doesn't make much difference. Not like the fans pay him, that's the university. But he makes a lot of money, so some people have higher expectations.
Yeah, expectations are very high.
Right.
The coaches are extremely well paid, so people expect them to deliver immediately. And then when you see programs like Indiana and Texas Tech and Ole Miss rise to the top, you think, well, why can't we do it here?
Right.
What are we waiting on?
Guys, listening to that clip was like listening to a college basketball coach talk smack because he made the NIT. That's from Professor Roy Hinckley. Jackson, do you see?
It's not apples to apples, but I wouldn't say he's bragging about it. I think he's trying to get people to readjust their perspective, readjust expectations just slightly. I think it's really important for the team in the locker room to have CFP or bust mentality. Fan-wise, maybe saying lower.
What's a fair period of time for fans to be more patient about Mizzou not rising to the top or near the top of the SEC? How many more years we have to give them before we say, okay, now it's time to start winning some big games?
I think Tim talks about this. It's about showing progress. So that leash gets longer depending on how much progress you show. Like if Drink is able to secure an awesome quarterback, whether that's Zoller shows up to be this awesome quarterback or some in the transfer portal, that would be significant progress because he's yet to find that program-defining quarterback. I think that would be an example of progress.
And I know it may sound crazy because right now his approval rating, I guess, is low. Based on this reaction, which I didn't necessarily anticipate, but my Twitter account, Doug, is a GIF depot.
Is it?
I think substantial progress has been made. I really do. And I was not high on him when he was hired. And I think the showmanship isn't my scene, but that's certainly part of the gig in the SEC most of the time, unless you are a Kirby Smart and you just go, okay, I'm going to win, or Sarkisian hasn't gotten a Smarts level, of course, or Saban, but the guys who just kind of win. If you're trying to get some attention, that personality plays a role in it. But I talk about progress with how if you're in the mix against those big time programs, and Missouri has been, and I realize you go, well, they got blown off the field by A&M. I think it would be fair to point out that they were on a third-string quarterback. My hope, which was misguided, was that the third-string quarterback would move the ball through the air better than Bo Pribula, and that just was not happening. But so whether it be the Vanderbilt game, Alabama, last year South Carolina, and then the previous year against Georgia and LSU, versus where it was in 2020, 21, and 22, when they weren't winning games and they were getting blown off the field to the point that he was managing the scores against Tennessee and Texas A&M. Now you have those expectations. That's progress. That's what's taken place in Bloomington, Indiana, is an outlier. And so I realize that will be the model, but that is not something that's actually, if you want to draw a parallel in some capacity, it's what the Cardinals experienced in 2006 and 2011. Those are mathematical outliers. The difference is the Cardinals had been great from 2000 through 2005. Indiana had been doormat leading up to 2024. But the Cardinals caught lightning in a bottle. And I think if programs are going to start chasing that, they're going to have a lot of disappointed fans and then be cutting a lot of buyout checks. We have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today coming up, and then BK and Ferrari at the top of the hour. This is TMA 101 ESPN.
TMA is brought to you by St. Louis-based Stifel, a leading wealth management and investment banking firm. Stifel is the firm where success meets success and has been since 1890. It's a historic St. Louis company founded downtown St. Louis in 1890. Same street the company is headquartered on today. Proud to have called St. Louis home for 135 years. They partner with the Cardinals and the Blues and the Stifel Charity Classic, and now they also sponsor Stifel Theater. Stifel is honored to support our city, our people, and their future. With financial advisors in 12 offices across the region, Stifel helps clients right here in St. Louis and nationwide manage their hard-earned wealth. Stifel also provides banking, lending, and trust services and has a full-service investment bank. Basically, when it comes to finance, Stifel has you covered as one of the fastest-growing wealth management firms in the world. Their tagline is, where success meets success. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Hey, this is Jackson with the Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Blues win last night over the Flames. Off today and tomorrow, back in action on Friday as they take on the Philadelphia Flyers. You can catch that right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. Pre-game at 6, puck drop at 7, right here on 101 ESPN. That was their Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
I mean, what's going on right now in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, Doug, you got to get in there.
What's going on?
Well, one of Jackson's favorite Tiger nationalists is in there, and he's talking it over.
And he's happy with the Tigers? He likes drink?
He just doesn't like us.
Oh. Well, there are other shows out there.
What makes you say that?
Because I've heard them.
Well, not every show has a longest-running sponsor who has given away a $10,000 HVAC system.
Maybe that's why this guy's listening. He wants that HVAC system.
And it is an opportunity that will take place beginning on January 5th. This is your chance to have your spring training for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, which we will have coming up here momentarily. I'll tell people about mentality. If you have seen a change in yourself, if you're not quite yourself anymore, struggling to focus, no energy for the people you love, put it this way, if your bedroom could talk, would it have anything to brag about? Could be you're getting older, or work stress, or the undeniable fact that we've all become our kids' personal, unpaid Uber drivers. It could also be your testosterone calling it quits.
What?
I looked up at the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat and just out of the corner of my eye while talking about mentality, and then I got amused. I apologize, Doug. I got to be better. Watch this.
Okay, do it.
Pull it together, boy. Pull it together, boy. Pull it together, boy. Pull it together, boy.
Okay.
I have been to mentality. I have been tested at mentality. I was in there and I was out in 20 minutes with a super friendly staff, and it's so helpful to know your testosterone levels in addition to your free testosterone levels, whether it's low energy, weight gain, or just that feeling that something's off. Mentality can help, so stop being tired of being tired. Get back to the guy you used to be. Visit mentalityhealth.com and reserve your spot today. What do you think about that?
Okay. Well, I think I'm ready to reserve it. Today.
All right. It's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling.
All right.
Day.
Sure, we should do that.
New job, new attitude. I started a bartender gig. Such a cool night. Bad to bone convertible LeBaron limo parked right out in front. LeBarons can be limos?
Well, if they stretch long enough.
About 12 Arnold Palmers later, the epidemic, epitome? Is that how you spell epitome?
That's not even close.
It's like a combination
looks
of
like
epidermal.
epitome.
Yeah, but this is EPIDEMY.
It's like skin related.
That's what I was thinking. The epitome of hotness in a khaki tux was screaming at the DJ, more glowworm, and some damn Bay City rollers too. I was on crowd control duty, so I asked him to take it down a notch. His response, I am the father of the groom, and you finna find out why my nickname is 7-Eleven. Because my back door is always open.
Okay.
So I'm in the filtered file?
Okay.
I tried to skedaddle, but he came at me like an E5 tornado. 3 minutes later, I was smack dab in the middle of a derriere affair.
I was getting ready to vote for him, too, because it started out so promising.
What lost you?
The derriere affair.
Cut that off. How to generate that? I don't know if you know.
Are we done with that one?
Yeah, that's it.
Kevin Miller.
I didn't say the name.
That's who it was.
How to generate the energy and want to that the Blues have desperately needed. Monty told the fellas that if they finally got that elusive win in the new home sweaters, their sports reporter would launch into the poopy talk on that pesky morning show, and boy, did JR deliver as a reward for their nearly 37 minutes of effort. A winning streak is imminent. The boys were also threatened with a team trip to the Smoky Mountains if they kept losing, where Cairo would be forced to sleep in a windowsill and cry himself to sleep. That's from Shooter McGavin, the vice president of Maximizing TSL, with links that Jackson intentionally sent to Tim to read on the air and then immediately dismisses as soon as Tim starts reading them.
That's right.
Shooter McGavin.
Good morning. Have you seen Who Killed the Montreal Expos on Netflix? I have. Has anybody else?
No.
I
Who
just
killed
watched
him?
it.
Who was it?
I think the conclusion is Jeffrey Loria. That's what I would say. You walk away.
All right.
It has great insight into the behind-the-scenes ownership shenanigans, and it gives me hope there could be a St. Louis Rams relocation documentary in 25 years or so. This is similar to how the masses won a documentary on the behind-the-scenes of announcing a massive Emailer of the Month prize with zero logistics figured out, only to have it take place months after said announcement. Great work, guys. That's from the Crestwood Coyote.
Crestwood Coyote.
Doug, never has a group of people been angrier about receiving the opportunity to win a free $10,000 prize.
So don't send in an email. Then you'll be sure not to win the prize. Leave us be.
Wanted to keep this one short and sweet, but I had to make this a two-parter. First off, Chairman, please teach this Karl Marx tramp stamp having producer of yours how to properly play a drop. When the franchise goalie is being interviewed, don't cut him off. But anyways, Tim, we all know you're perfect. Can't turn water into wine, but can turn my loins into froth. But the real man of my heart in this show is Dougie. My girlfriend was pissed this morning, waking up to me and the couch being covered in green paint. The Hulk really does smash. Doug is the only one that has the jawline of a Greek god. A body rock harder than Tyler Durden. Was that Brad Pitt in Fight Club?
It just
It was really Ed Norton.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
I just don't know who it was.
Tonight, can we be furries, dress like rabbits, and make whoopee while we calculate all the terrorists you've handed out this year?
I do have the
That's
rabbit
from My
costume.
Girl Dog.
Ugh, I just imagine that for a second.
My girl, Doug. She's new.
Wow, what a development we have here. You guys are straight cheeks, except for Martin, signed not Martin, but it comes from the email address I have saved for Martin. Is he trying to win this?
He's trying to get.
What kind of loser that works on the show emails into the show?
Oh, no.
But he did say
That
we're
brings back to the
straight
Blueberry
cheeks.
Pop scandal.
All
You
right.
like straight cheeks.
Martin Kilcoyne. You think people would get upset if we gave Martin the prize?
Oh, God.
I think that'd be a problem.
Doug, that's way over the design.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, I like the way his email started off. And just based on that, I'll vote for Kevin Miller.
I'll go Kevin Miller as well.
Let's make it 3. Kevin Miller.
Wow! Kevin Miller is won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. So for the 101 listeners who are getting familiar with this show, now they realize that's what you need to email in
That's all it
to win the
takes.
$10,000.
A little positive reinforcement for him, Doug.
Doesn't take a real intellectual comment or two. Just any filth will do. Khaki tuxedo.
Are there such things?
Probably.
Probably, yeah, like a beige.
Is it going to be awkward in the studio tomorrow since nobody voted for Martin?
Yeah, he'll have to wear that one.
Time for us to shut it down. BK and Ferrari are up next for Jackson Burkett, for Chairman Kurt, for Martin Kilcoyne, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn. I'm Tim McKernan. This has been The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel.